San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego? And a happy Tuesday to everybody out there in America's finest city. Braden Surprenant, the Braden Surprenant Show for the next couple of hours as we lead you into Gwynn and Chris. And that's it. There's no Equal Water SoCal Padres pregame show because we have the All-Star game today. Oh, look, StreamYard changed their deal today. I actually have to put a name on there, it looks like. Hello, Paul, a.k.a. Frank, on the StreamYard. That's great. So I'll deal with that later. Anyway, this is an interesting week for us just because there's no Padres baseball. It's the off week. This might be one of the most difficult weeks for sports talk radio if you're on a baseball station. That being said, we have a lot planned today. Today will be the beginning of our minor league week, where we give you an update on the minor leagues. We'll have an update on the AAA El Paso and how they have done in the first half, who's looking good, who's not. We'll have the top prospects in El Paso are doing. Later on, we will also talk about AA San Antonio as Brian Yenelson, who is the San Antonio Missions broadcaster, will join us in the 1 o'clock hour. And there's a lot of other conversations going on throughout Major League Baseball. Obviously, the draft finished up yesterday. We'll talk about how A.J. Preller has done drafting for the Padres since taking over as the general manager. He's done a pretty good job. I mean, you start looking at some of the numbers and what he has drafted. I mean, over the last 10 years, which is kind of the tenure that A.J. Preller has had in terms of drafts since 2015, the San Diego Padres have drafted 53 players that have ended up making their Major League debut. That is second most out of any team in the National League. Not only has he drafted 53 MLB players, he has also drafted about 6 to 7 All-Stars in that particular time frame, and an NFL Super Bowl champion. And he could be an All-Pro. I don't remember off the top of my head, but he's a stud, A.J. Brown. He's even drafted an NFL Super Bowl champion. How about that? We'll talk about the draft at 11:30. Got a lot of things to get to on the sports thread. We will have a special guest at noon. The final day that Frank doesn't have. This is the first day he's not going to have a foul. Kraft Taco is coming in studio today at about noon. So that's kind of how the show lays out. Let's talk about last night before we dive into another topic too. And here's the other thing. Anytime that you get MLB all centrally located, there's a lot of deals getting done and there's a lot of conversations being had. And there's a lot of talking points that have been happening with Tony Clark talking for the Players Association, Rob Manfred saying a bunch of things that he wants to see baseball do, and the whole salary cap, salary floor topic of discussion that we'll get into later on. As well as Rob Manfred at Major League Baseball trying to find ways for MLB players to compete in the Olympics in 2028. Helps out a little bit that it's in Los Angeles, makes it a little bit easier in the middle of the summer than having everybody leave the country for a couple of weeks. But another interesting topic of discussion. Let's talk about the Home Run Derby last night. Frank, did you watch the Home Run Derby last night? It was your turn to watch it.
No, my fish needed to go to the dentist,
No.
so I couldn't be there. Sorry,
It was your night to watch
I failed.
the Derby.
My bad. I'm sorry.
That's a foul.
It's an emergency surgery that needed to be taken care of immediately. Sorry.
Home Run Derby last night, overall. Could ESPN get any worse at broadcasting the Home Run Derby? Could the Home Run Derby be any less entertaining from a standpoint of not being able to see the home runs? I mean, it's a pretty simple task to do. Film the home run, let everybody watch the home run, count the home run, and move on to the next home run. But it's almost like it moves too fast now that you can't see every home run because they're trying to go rapid fire because it's a timed event at the home run derby. I don't know. I mean, is it do we feel like this is a proper amount of time? Has it really sped it up that much? I mean, the home run derbies before, it was like take pitch, take pitch, take pitch, take pitch, home run, take pitch, take pitch, take pitch. I mean, there's way more pressure on the pitchers now than there are in the hitters. And to me, for a home run derby, I don't really want to see quantity. I want to see quality of balls just getting crushed over the fence. What's your home run derby take?
If it doesn't have the top home run hitters, if it does not have the top 8 home run hitters in the league that made the All-Star game, I don't want to see it.
I mean, good for Cal Raleigh for winning it last night. That was kind of cool. He is the home run leader. So he participated and he won. He had 17 home runs in the first round. He had 19 home runs in the second round. Ended up finishing with 18 home runs in the third round. So from that standpoint, it's pretty cool. I mean, you see a guy that you wouldn't, not a big time name, even though he's having a great season this year, win the home run derby. But overall, the home run derby, the most exciting thing about last night's home run derby was the kid robbing Junior Caminero in the final round of the home run derby of a home run. They counted it anyway. That was a sick robbery, but that was basically it. I mean, I don't know what you do to make the home run derby any better. I mean, I was playing softball last night, and at some point somebody was like, hey, I think Cal Raleigh won the home run derby. The people that play softball is kind of a target audience for Major League Baseball. Are you looking at Blooper in the fountain?
And then you have Blooper just sitting in the fountain. He goes from aura farming to just sitting in the fountain, not moving.
I feel infinite sadness. Oh, so Matt Olson was in it just because he was the local Brave. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have done it. Is that what we're thinking here?
I would have to assume.
I could see that as well.
Guy hit the second least amount of home runs in the first round.
Couple of things that have done right for the All-Star break this week. Yeah, and that's the other thing, too. The broadcasting is not very good. I don't know what Chris Berman needs to get paid to come back, but you got to pay him a ton of money to go back to it. Or you got to get somebody that's super excited to be there. Carl Ravitch is I don't like criticizing play-by-play guys as a play-by-play person. He does a solid job as a play-by-play guy, but he's never been that headliner. I need to tune in to hear the broadcast because Carl Ravitch is doing the game. I know he does Sunday Night Baseball. He's not Matt Vasgersian. He's not Joe Buck. He's not, go down the list. If Matty V was doing the home run derby, I would be a little bit more interested. I would even take Greg Amsinger. And I'm not even a huge Greg Amsinger fan, but he's going to make it somewhat fun. I miss the back from Chris Berman over the launch angle and the exit velo really shows that I don't care about that. I want to see the guy hit the ball 500 feet over the fence. The broadcast itself doesn't make it that fun. I mean, it's just the things that they have done right, though, so far is, again, wearing the All-Star inspired jerseys for this particular event. It should be worn for the Futures game. It should be worn for the Celebrity Softball game. And it should be worn for the Home Run Derby. I'm glad they got back to that. And then after that, I can't wait to see them all in their regular uniforms today. I'm glad that they're going back to that. I thought the All-Star uniforms in general were kind of cool. A little flair on the Braves. Kind of old school stuff. Everybody wearing Hank Aaron jerseys, which is super cool as well. I like that kind of flair to it. But, the All-Star game is cool in a sense of seeing all the players there at the same time. I think you see all the antics of some of the players. You get to know a lot of these guys too, aside from spring training. I mean, how many funny interactions did we see between the Padres players and the Dodgers players the last couple of days?
Otani and Suarez.
Otani and Suarez is hilarious.
Yeah, that was great.
Otani starts walking up to Suarez and he starts like grimacing about where he got hit by the ball when he got drilled. That's hilarious. I think it shows that, again, we've mentioned this before. What does our show say? Almost always right, but just early.
Yep.
We knew, and we've said this before, the rivalry is more in the stands than it's on the field, as you can see by Otani and Robert Suarez yesterday. That, and the other one was Fernando. They asked Fernando about who he thought the best player in baseball was, and he said, I can't say because he's my rival. I'm not going to say his name, but 17 for the blue team. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Those things are pretty cool. Like, there's sound bites. You get to get. This is the only real appropriate time, aside from spring training, where you can actually ask players questions that people want to hear. Top 3 movies for Manny Machado, baseball movies. He went with Rookie of the Year, Angels in the Outfield, and The Sandlot. Those are 3 movies that I watched as a kid.
Solid movies, too.
Solid movies. All 3 of those movies were not in our baseball in the movies class.
They're kid movies, too, more or less.
They're all great kid movies. So good for Manny on that one. But, I mean, those are the fun quirks of the All-Star game. But tonight, like, aside from there being no major sports on, right? This is the only week where you don't have the NBA, no NHL, no NFL, and no MLB. There's not too much draw to the All-Star game. I mean, how do you make the home run derby watchable now? Like, I used to watch it, even the last couple of years, I'd kind of tune in. But last night, it wasn't appointment setting. I had stuff to do, and I went and did other stuff.
Because look at the people who were competing in it before. Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, guys that you wanted to see in the home run derby. Nobody wants to see Brent Rooker in the home run derby when Shohei Ohtani is sitting on the sidelines. Like, nobody wants to see that. They want to see Ohtani hit it.
I want to see Manny Machado hit. I want to see Fernando. I want to
see. It's who's in it. It's not the competition itself. It's who's in it. It's like the dunk contest.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, the dunk contest is such a waste of time. It used to be sick. Jordan's in the dunk contest. Now it's not. I mean, you look at some of the most watched home run derbies. The most watched home run derby was in 2008 when Justin Morneau won at Yankee Stadium. And then it was 2017, Aaron Judge won. Funny how that works out. Prince Fielder, who used to hit tanks. Miguel Tejada, Jason Giambi, Pete Alonso in 2021. I mean, watching the home run derby at Coors Field, kind of fun.
Hit the ball miles, too.
I remember Great American Ballpark. I remember watching that one with Todd Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
The local player for Cincinnati hitting at Great American Ballpark. Guy from Ohio. That was fun. Prince Fielder again. Vlad Guerrero Sr. was fun watching the home run derby. Ryan Howard. I mean, think about some of the participants in this thing that used to be in the home run derby. I mean, look at the first ever home run derby in 1985. Guys like Cal Ripken Jr. playing in it. Dave Parker, Ryan Sandberg, Steve Garvey, Jack Clark. I mean, just look to a couple years ago. If you just look to a couple years ago, like give me a year, like 2000. Let's take a look at 2006. Here's your home run derby field in 2006. Ryan Howard, David Wright, Miguel Cabrera, David Ortiz, Jermaine Dye, Lance Berkman, Miguel Tejada, Troy Glaus. That's a pretty solid rundown in 2006. 07, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Matt Holliday, Albert Pujols, Prince Fielder, Ryan Howard, Maglia Ordonez,
Jesus,
Justin Morneau, Alex Rios.
Alex Rios does feel like the outlier in that.
He's the outlier in that one. 2009, Prince Fielder, Nelson Cruz, Ryan Howard, Albert Pujols, Carlos Pena, Joe Mauer, Adrian Gonzalez, Brandon Inge. Brandon Inge and Adrian Gonzalez were kind of the outliers.
I'd watch that right now.
All at their current age?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
I agree. 2011, Robinson Cano, Adrian Gonzalez, Prince Fielder, David Ortiz, Matt Holliday, Jose Batista, Ricky Weeks Jr., and Matt Kemp.
Was that Pittsburgh Joey Bats, or was that like prime Joey Bats?
That was Blue Jays Joey Bats.
Prime Joey Bats.
2011, that was right before I got to college, where he hit that bomb against the Rangers.
Yes, okay.
2012, Prince Fielder, Jose Batista, Mark Trumbo, Carlos Beltran, Carlos Gonzalez, Andrew McCutcheon, Matt Kemp, Robbie Cano. Do you remember the fun part of the of that one?
No.
The fun about the one in Kansas City was Robinson Cano did not hit a home run in the home run derby. Was number one. Number two, Frank, was he was getting booed the entire time because Robinson Cano, that was when they drafted the home run derby teams.
Okay.
He did not draft the Kansas City Royal, whoever it was, I forgot who it was,
no.
to be in the home run derby. So he goes out there after winning the year before and got booed the entire round, and he didn't hit a single home run. That is must watch TV.
Yes, that is. That's great.
You even go to 2013 at Citi Field. Yoenis Cespedes, Bryce Harper, Michael Kadire, Chris Davis, Pedro Alvarez, Prince Fielder, David Wright, Robinson Cano.
I'd watch that.
And that's Chris Davis before he started stealing money from the Orioles. I'd watch that too. But now you look at the last couple of years and you're just like, really? I mean, I guess 2022 is not a bad list, but even in 2022, I mean, Albert Pujols he was old at that point.
And I'm sorry, but I like Pat McAfee. Like, I liked him doing Monday Night Raw. He's very talented when it comes to the wrestling stuff. Enough. No more Pat McAfee.
How much Pat McAfee can you get?
It's again, it goes to the wrestling thing. How can I miss you if you don't go away? And Pat McAfee never goes away. And it's the same act every time.
All right.
It's enough of McAfee.
Last thing on the home run derby, you look at the big jump here. Like 2022 had Kyle Schwarber, solid. Albert Pujols, all right, veteran. Juan Soto, Jose Ramirez, Corey Seager, Julio Rodriguez, Pete Alonso, Ronald Acuna Jr. That's the last great group for the home run derby. 2023, Luis Robert Jr., Adley Rutschman, Adolis Garcia, Randy Arozarena, Mookie Betts, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Pete Alonso, Julio Rodriguez. Starting to fall off a little bit.
Need a Wile E. Coyote falling off the cliff.
Last year, Teoscar Hernandez, Bobby Witt Jr., Alec Bohm, Jose Ramirez, Adolis Garcia, Marcelo Ozuna from the Braves, Pete Alonso, and Gunnar Hernandez. And then last night. Last night might be the worst group I've seen in a long time.
100%.
In terms of appeal, in terms of must-watch ability. So, not too much of the home run derby. It's okay. Didn't want to spend too much time on that, even though we ended up doing that. We got All-Star Game lineups for today, and coming up at 10:30. Frank's really passionate about this particular topic. We skipped it yesterday. But it has to do with a certain rookie making the All-Star team. We'll let Frank be frank with us at 10:35 as we continue. Just getting started. Braden Surprenant Show, standing on Sports Station 97 through the Fan. All right, getting a lot of uniform unveils here in the last couple of days. We'll talk about San Diego State's later. Actually, we could talk about San Diego State's right now. Did you even have it on the rundown for San Diego State's uniforms? I didn't think we did.
I did not because I didn't.
It's going to take like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't think it would be that big a topic.
What is the difference?
What
are we doing, San Diego State? I gotta ask. And look, again, I gotta preface this by saying I am an Aztec football supporter. I want the best for Aztec athletics and Aztec football. What are we doing?
And we want to do a lot with San Diego State Aztec football this year.
What are we doing? Seriously, what are we doing, Aztecs football? Like, I don't understand. What did we do? We added the white pants? They added the white pants. They got rid of San Diego State across the chest or Aztecs. They looked, honestly, the exact same as they were before. There's probably a slight difference. You could almost post the meme of Pam from The Office. Like, oh, can you know this difference between the two pictures? They're the exact same picture. I like the white on white look, but to me, like, you're a college football team now. Not now, but you've always been. You're a college football team that is trying to fight to make, like, for relevancy in this day and age. And there's a way for schools to do that. I mean, let's ask Frank. Frank's the big NCAA 25 player. 26. What is it? What are we? Are we 25 or 26?
No, it's 26.
26. He's the big NCAA 26 player. When you go on San Diego State, how many uniforms can you pick from?
2.
2. It's just home and away. What are we doing? I don't get it. Like, everybody else has like 50 uniforms. I don't think you need that much.
But like I said, this design of the uniform, this basic overall design of the uniform, forget the ones that just came out yesterday. This design, like with the helmet and everything, it's all still relatively new. So it is kind of hard to have an alternate that makes sense, that's meaningful. I mean, you could do red.
This should be their alternate. The Aztec calendar on the side of the helmet should be an alternate helmet. Not their everyday helmet.
It is it is by far and away, and everyone says this, it is the best helmet in college football. Period. Stop.
I'm going to quote what you just said, but if you're around all the time, how can I miss you? To me, it needs to be an alternate.
That's fair.
You have two of the coolest color combination in red and black, scarlet and black. There's so many great things they could do with old Aztec logos. They could do a script Aztec helmet, a white script Aztec helmet. They could do a chrome one. They could do a white helmet, the red chrome face, a scarlet chrome face mask. They could do a black helmet. They could do a throwback to like what the ones that like Marshall Faulk wore. I mean, there's so many things you could do. They have 2 uniforms. They should have at least 4 minimum total, including the 2 that they just brought up. When they were announcing like brand new uniforms, I'm like, okay, cool. And then they unveiled it, and I'm like, where is it? What's the new uniform? There's not a lot of, we don't get a lot of Aztec calls. I mean, Go Aztecs is in the chat. I'd like to know his opinion on it, but there's so many different things they can do. The basketball team's got more jerseys than they do. It's college football. Like, I know this helmet's great. There's nothing wrong with the helmet. But to me, like, the old Aztecs on the helmet was great. You should have more than just 2 options. When you got kids now playing NCAA, like the video game's back. When you got high school kids, all these kids now playing NCAA, they become fans of teams that they play with, and they usually play with teams that they can rebuild, like San Diego State. And guess what they do? They pick the team that have cool uniforms. What are we doing, San Diego State? I don't get it. Let's add an alternate helmet. Let's add a different jersey style. Let's add a throwback. Let's have 2 to 3, 4 uniform combinations. We don't have to look like Oregon or TCU or some of the Nike flagship programs, but you know what? It'd be nice to mix in a couple. Basketball's doing their thing. Their uniforms look sweet. I don't know what football team's doing.
And here's another thing that I think a lot of people forget about, especially when it comes to the college football game. The teams do get paid based off of how much that team is used in the game. And because of that, Delaware is doing something really cool, that if you win a national title with the Blue Hens in NCAA 26, they will give you merch or tickets, depending upon where you are, if you show that you won a championship with Delaware.
This is what I'm talking about. When we ask, like, growing San Diego State football, how do we get people to watch, people in town to be? It's this stuff. It might not seem like this is important. This is the easy part, is the uniforms and embracing NCAA 26 and, like, I don't know, getting young people to be into it. Merchandise sales. I mean, come on. How many teams? I mean, this could be a project for Frank. He could jump on NCAA 26. He could tell everybody it's for work, and just be like, and just find me how many schools only have 2 uniform combinations on there, where you can only do home and road.
If it's for work, can I use the $70 I paid for the game as a deduction, as a work
as
deduction?
A tax deduction? I think you can. I don't think anybody's going to fight you on that. Aside from maybe the super classic teams, right? Like USC. But even teams like Penn State have a alternate look or a throwback look.
I think they do have an older. I just used them last night, actually, for the first time.
SC or Penn State?
Penn State.
They have an alternate or throwback look. Notre Dame does.
Did not go well for Nevada, by the way.
No,
they had
way to flex on the Nevada Wolfpack.
They had a rough time.
I don't get it. I just don't get it for the Aztec uniforms. I don't think they look bad. I'm going to say that right now. I think the white on white's going to be cool. I like the helmet, but it's just like, where's the rest of it? The Chargers unveiled their uniforms too. They got brand new ones today. I can rant on that in a second. But maybe the next segment is just our rant segment, because Frank is very passionate about this next topic. And no, it has nothing to do with Craft Taco. 71-7? What level difficulty were you on?
All-American. It was an online dynasty. My friend set it up. I had no control over it. It was All-American. They did not have a play for positive yardage in the first quarter and a half. And the very next play after they got that positive yardage play was a pick six.
All right. I'm going to let Frank be Frank when we come back. You won't want to miss it. Braden Surprenant Show, Setting Summer Sports Station 97 through the Fan. This hour 97 through the fans brought to you by U.S. Wellness Meats. Overwhelmed by processed foods, U.S. Wellness Meats offer an all-natural alternative, 100% grass-fed beef, pork, poultry, wild-caught seafood, and more. Ship free from family farms. Get 20% off your first order at uswellnessmeats.com. I might have to do that. I like grass-fed. It's usually what I try to buy. It's hard to buy. I found some at Bond's the other day, some grass-fed ribeyes. I'll be cooking those today.
There you go.
I've been behind in the meal prep. Saturday really put me through a tailspin for the beginning part of the week because I was tired Sunday, and then yesterday I had to catch up on some laundry and stuff, and then the early softball game at 6 was tough, and then I had to hang around until 9 and 10. So that was my night last night. Hamstring held up. Not too bad. Not too bad. The hitting was good. Didn't really play in the field till the last game for co-ed, and they're like, "Can you play shortstop?" And I was like, "Not really." What part of no lateral movements don't you know? But I did it anyway.
There's not much lateral movement at shortstop.
Oh yeah, it's like the most lateral movement position on the field. I survived that. There's a couple times where I was running and it was like, need to slow down, but made it through. All right, I'm gonna let Frank rant about something in a second. We're going to let Frank be Frank. Let's be frank. But I'm going to be frank first. Not Marchese, but I'm going to be frank about what just happened as we continue our uniform coverage here on 97 through the fan. The Chargers have unveiled new uniforms. One of them is awful. And the other one is, as Braden Stone tweeted out, the biggest appeal to the original fan base, which is us down here in San Diego, that they have ever done. So they got these gold uniforms that look like they're the Oregon Ducks, almost like Justin Herbert missed being, wearing the gold. So let's make custom uniforms for Justin Herbert. And the Chargers are getting killed for those. There's not a lot of people that think those look sick. But then they have the old school, the navy blue is back. So they got the LT navy blue helmet with the white and gold lightning bolt. They got the navy blue jerseys and pants. And the thing was, it's like they posted a video about their new uniforms, and all they're showing is highlights at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. They continue to show this like, we have to have people in San Diego watch our deal. I mean, think about their actions. Again, we're a big, actions over words. Where are the Chargers doing a couple training camp practices this year, Frank?
Here.
At the University of San Diego.
There you go.
Here. All of their uniforms that they've done since they left have been catered to who exactly, Frank?
Us.
Because they know that they can't win up there. They know they can't win a fan base over there. They're trying so hard to keep people engaged down in San Diego. It's pathetic.
It's almost as if they're realizing that they made a short-sighted decision.
That they're stupid.
And they're trying to reverse what they did because they regret it.
I'm going to say right now, I like the white helmets always more and the powder blue, but since we haven't seen the navy blue since they have left San Diego, it's hit me in the feels a little bit.
And that's what they're trying to do.
And guess what? I'm not going to watch them still. Still not going to watch them. DSG back in the chat. 7th most popular team in LA. That's generous, my guy. I think they got more teams up there that are way more important.
I think the Ontario Reign, the LA Kings AHL team, might be a little bit more popular than they are, honestly.
What about the Angels?
Yeah, they're not even LA.
They're not even LA. They might be more important. They might be more important up there in the Los Angeles area. More encouraged to send. I think people are more interested to go watch Mike Trout play than watch the Chargers play.
They actually get coverage up there.
Yeah. Holy cow. It's called Charger Power on their uniforms. Yeah, exact. Coachella Valley Firebirds, I think, are more important. It's the appeal thing again. It's funny. They continue to go down this path. The navy blue hits in the fields a little bit, but at the same time, have fun going 9-8 again. That was one of the comments on their post. Team continues to put out A+ jerseys just to go 500 every single year. It's hilarious. All right. Before we get to Kevin and Chula Vista, we have a very passionate opinion from Frank about a certain someone that made the All-Star game. It was a nice, passionate debate between Frank, Paul, and Woods yesterday about this particular subject matter. I'm going to let Frank be Frank.
I mean,
what do we got here? Let's set up the context. Okay, so they're looking for pitchers.
Yeah, it comes down to Jacob Mizorowski being named an All-Star after 5 starts in the major leagues. Now, reportedly, Major League Baseball went to about 12 other guys and asked before they landed on Mizorowski. I'm sorry, a guy who is 5 starts into his major league career should not be eligible for an All-Star game. This goes back to Paul Skeens last year, had the same exact thing happen to him, talking about Yasiel Puig. What was it, 10 years ago? 10 years ago with Yasiel Puig.
Feeling old yet?
Yeah, exactly. Well, less than a month into his major league career. This should not be a thing. I understand it's an entertainment game. I understand that no one's going, that people want to see Mizorowski, especially with how he's been hyped up. I get it. But with how much prestige is linked to being an all-star, to getting an all-star nod, you hear it all the time when it comes to Hall of Famers. He's a 12, 13, 14-time all-star. This completely takes away from the prestige of being an all-star and what it means to be an all-star, to have a kid, I don't care how good he's been, to have a kid who has only played 5 games, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in his major league career, be an all-star. I'm sorry, you're taking away the last shred of credibility that this game has. You are taking away the last shred of credibility that being an all-star has. If you want to have these guys be all-stars, fine. It means nothing when it comes to a Hall of Fame conversation anymore. It means absolutely nothing. And again, I understand it's pure entertainment value. You want to get eyes on this game. You want to see the biggest stars in the game. I get it. 5 games into his major league career. This kid could fizzle out next week. You don't know. It's not like this is an established star in this league. It's not the first time. It's not the first one this All-Star game. Clayton Kershaw got a Legends vote because he's done nothing, because he's been hurt all year. You're taking away the credibility of what it means to be an all-star in the major leagues. This is an absolute joke. And again, Mizorowski is 100% right. Our gripe is with the league, is with the all-star game itself, not him. I don't care about Mizorowski.
He shouldn't have to turn it down.
No.
If he's getting offered to play in the All-Star game. I agree. In an instant gratification society, an instant reaction society, an instant overreaction society, you see this a lot more. What happens if Mizorowski ends up having like a terrible career? You're going to look back and say, he's a one-time All-Star after 5 games, right? But when you look at the base for all of these players, as a quick historical, you just see all the stars next to the years that they were in. Kershaw gets another one at age 37, where he's done absolutely nothing this year. Mizorowski makes the All-Star game, but, Nick Pivetta didn't make the All-Star game. I think Nick Pivetta has more of a case, but obviously he wasn't going to pitch in it. He pitched on Sunday. He's probably one of the 12 that turned it down. I think the same thing is in play for a lot of different things. If you look at, here's one that really drove me nuts. And even though it might age well, when Joe Burrow's high school decided to name the stadium after him after he got drafted without playing a snap in the National Football League, it's ridiculous. You're taking a major risk.
Well,
you're taking a major risk. Now,
with that, was that the first professional athlete that has come out of that high school? Because I could see that being.
It doesn't matter. Wait for his career to be over. There's no reason to do it at the beginning before he even starts. You have no idea what he's going to do in his pro career. I mean, what happens if he and he hasn't been, well, what happens if he turns into Ryan Leaf at the major and the NFL and he's an embarrassment? Now his name's on the side of your high school. What are you going to take the name off? I just understand. It was like, we need to have everything right now. It's just this unruly level for all of these things. Like the Mizorowski thing. It's just, I agree. Like giving a kid, even though he's playing really well, there should be a minimum amount of games that you have to play in order to be an all-star.
He got lit up in one of those starts too for 5 runs.
If you're going to put stipulations on awards at the end of the season, why wouldn't you just do it for the all-star game or just pick the rosters about who the most popular players are? Whoever's got the most followers on Instagram should be on the all-star team.
Again, I get it. I get that it's all about the ratings. I understand. But again, it's
nobody's watching anyway.
It's the prestige of what it means to be an all-star. It's in your Hall of Fame resume. He's a 15-time all-star, and it's always brought up.
It messes with MLB. It messes with baseball history is what it does. It's like It's like when they added more games. It's now a new era of baseball where you can't view the all-star games as Hall of Fame because they use it all the time. Like 11-time all-star. So like Clayton Kershaw's page says 11-time all-star, and now you're going back like, well, how many of those years were actual all-star nods?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and they used it for the Hall of Fame vote. To me, if you want to make the all-star game like that, fine, but it needs to be like the National Football League that has the Pro Bowl, which we all know is a joke because so many people sit that out too because their body's beat up. They want to go play another football game. They want to get ready for the offseason. But they have All-Pro, and All-Pro is a higher level prestige than the Pro Bowl. Same thing with All MLB.
Yeah.
You should be getting rewards for All MLB or All National League, All American League that has nothing to do with when you pitched that weekend or how hurt you were right before the All-Star break or anything like that. It should be at the end of the year. They should have the All NL team and the All AL team, and those should be the rewards. And then if you to me, making the All-Star game it still should be an accomplishment. It should be on your resume, but it shouldn't be valued as much as an All NL award or an All AL award or an All MLB award, for the completion of your entire season. There's a lot of years guys are remember, it's all graded on the first half. Yes. A lot of guys are all-stars that were have terrible second halves, and it's different. I mean, honestly, you could think a little bit about Fernando being an all-star this year. He had a great
first couple months. Yeah.
He had a great month to start it off. And it was such a great month. It was such a high level month for Fernando that the final 2.5 months of bad baseball that he played in terms of overall offensive production, his defense has been great. His numbers were still inflated super high because of how great of a start. Now, I think he's probably going to do a lot better in the second half. We all hope so. But still, it's like, what are we doing here in baseball? What are we doing with some of the all-star nods?
The all-star game is actually watchable, not like the others. Granted, the Pro Bowl is unwatchable. The Pro Bowl is unwatchable. Same thing with the NBA all-star game. Completely unwatchable because they don't try and they don't hide that they're not trying.
Yeah, they don't care.
You take a look at what the NHL has done with their all-star game, where they pit the divisions together, or they pit the divisions against each other. And this year they did the 4 nations instead of doing an all-star game.
I was more inclined to watch those.
Exactly. This baseball all-star game means nothing right now. It means absolutely nothing.
Now's a good time to tell you who's starting for the all-star teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's your starting lineup. Shohei Ohtani, batting leadoff, designated hitter for the National League from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Atlanta Braves, Ronald Acuna Jr. plays right field, bats second. Ketel Marte will bat third. and plays second base, representing the Arizona Diamondbacks. Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers bats fourth and plays first base. Manny Machado in the 5 spot, playing third base, representing the Padres. He bats between the 2 Dodgers, as Freddie bats in front of him, and Will Smith will bat 6th at catcher for the Dodgers. Kyle Tucker in right field for the Chicago Cubs in the National League, batting 7th. Francisco Lindor bats 8th and plays shortstop, representing the New York Mets. And representing the Chicago Cubs in center field and batting 9th is Pete Crow Armstrong for the National League, with Paul Skeens pitching, representing the Pittsburgh Pirates. And as Prolific the Great said, probably the first time all season Paul Skeens gets any type of run support. The Big goes against an American League team, batting Gleyber Torres and having him play second. Riley Green plays left field for the American League, also representing the Detroit Tigers. He bats second and plays left field. Aaron Judge in right, representing the New York Yankees, bats third. Cal Raleigh bats fourth and is the catcher for the Seattle Mariners. Vlad Guerrero Jr. of the Toronto Blue Jays will bat fifth and play first base. Batting sixth, the DH from the Baltimore Orioles, Ryan O'Hearn. Junior Caminero will bat seventh and play third base for the Tampa Bay Rays. Javier Baez bats eighth, center fielder for the Detroit Tigers, and batting ninth at shortstop, Jacob Wilson, the shortstop for the Oaklamento Athletics, for Tariq Skubal, the starting pitcher for the American League.
How about the renaissance from Javi Baez? By the way, he was dead and buried, and now he's starting an all-star game at a position that he has never played in his career before. Good on him.
Xander Bogaerts has a higher WAR than Mookie Betts, but did I say that out loud?
Where did those two come into this? I'm giving Javi Baez his flowers that he's earned, and you come in with Mookie Betts and Xander Bogaerts.
Because everybody was calling Xander Javi Baez 2 months ago. Jake Waters wanted him traded for Javi Baez before the season started. Just saying, higher WAR.
Haven't seen SB in a while. That shows you how good.
Haven't seen SB in a long time.
How good Xander Bogaerts is doing right now.
I'm the hater. Captain, did you miss that whole segment? The only one that's really hating right now is Frank on the Miz. And it's not really him. It's more on the league.
Yeah, I'm hating on Major League Baseball. I don't have a problem with Mizorowski. It's baseball that I have a problem with.
Kevin and Chulavista, we'll get to you when we start the 11 o'clock hour, setting us everyone's sports station, 97 to the Fan. 11 o'clock hour on a Tuesday. It's a Taco Tuesday here at 97 to the Fan. Craft Taco will be stopping by later today. Looking forward to that. Saw the sign out in the lobby. It should have said Frank welcomes the Craft Taco instead of just Odyssey welcoming the Craft Taco.
You know, it'd be funny, honestly, if they got here and said they couldn't find the studio.
They gave it to 94.9 instead. Wait a minute. How come John and Tammy are eating the tacos right now? What? Oh, we
couldn't find the studio. You guys had a glass sign on a glass wall. I don't know what you want from us.
They got distracted by the giant whatever animal.
We don't have a meerkat on our glass.
There's no meerkat on the glass. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We were talking about Aztecs football's lack of uniforms. We were talking about the Chargers desperately trying to win over San Diego fans again with another uniform scheme. Try to get us in their feels. Didn't say the magic word. Not falling for that one. Not going to USD for the Chargers practice. Try to fool us down here with your BS. And then we talked about the All-Star game and Frank, how much he hates Mizorowski.
How much I
God
hate
forbid,
baseball.
God forbid the kid makes an All-Star
Not
game.
Mizorowski. By
God
the way,
forbid a guy has a day and makes the All-Star team in 5 starts. You know what? Why do you hate the guy's success?
I do have some bad news to give, though, that just broke from San Diego FC.
We got Brewers fans coming to the studio that Captain sent us.
From San Diego FC?
You just asked about bad news.
Milan Iloski's loan is up.
Oh,
he
no.
is returning to Denmark. So if you were going to tomorrow's match to see Toronto FC and Milan Iloski play, unfortunately, Iloski is now gone.
And the good news is for Denmark is the breakfast burritos will be back.
Yes.
So, that's probably what it is. Yeah, I wonder how many people got my Jurassic Park reference there.
Yes, that one I got.
Didn't say the magic word. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We'll talk more Padres baseball here in this hour. Craft Taco will be showing up in the next hour. Fun-filled show for you. We do want to get your phone calls, though. We'll start with Kevin in Chula Vista wants to weigh in. Kevin, what's going on, man?
Good morning, gentlemen. Hey, before I get to the 2 points here, did we ever decide where the burger was in San Diego? I know we've had a lot of food discussion over the last several weeks. Did we ever come to a conclusion on best burger in San Diego?
I mean, I got to sample, Kevin, but for me, it's always been Rocky's Crown Pub. I mean, that's kind of where I usually go.
Well, that'd be good. Then we need to come to a conclusion on that, because I always get asked from my out-of-town friends, where's the best burger? And, man, there's just several different places, but it'd be nice to hear from some other sources here. All right, look, 2 things. First of all, as far as the Chargers, we're going to have a major sports complex going up down here in the Bayfront. That looks like it's going to be a certainty. Phase 2 of that, they're planning for a 50,000-seat stadium. I think you may have heard about that. And certainly someone out there, I'm sure, has the cell phone numbers to Dean, AG, and John, and maybe they ought to make a phone call. And I'll be more than happy to provide a personal tour. I've got the connections that with the people that are involved in this project, and they would be damn silly to pass up that site, because it's gorgeous right on the bayfront with the water. It is going to be a magnificent project, and they would be silly not to get involved in that. But of course, they've been silly for a long time, but maybe they can have a
well, Kevin, I know you're pretty engaged with the local community down there in Chula Vista for different hearings and everything like that, and then
Right.
in government. Isn't there something?
Yep.
There's the big meetings tonight, isn't it, to try to set up the 6-month negotiation process? Isn't that tonight?
That may be, and I may have missed that one because I was busy with the trash pickup problem last night, and so I've been just full of other pressing issues here. But I'll get up on that, and I'll let you guys know. But just be aware that this is going to be a very, very real thing. With Gaylord right next to it, you've got 1,500 multi-million-dollar condos going on the other side of the street. It's on the trolley line. If you've been down here, Braden, and take a walk around the bayfront, the Marina Bayfront, it's spectacular, and it's really a sight to behold. And they would have to be out of their minds not to want to get involved in this, considering what they're going through up there. And I would happen to think that Stan Kroenke might even give them some money to get the hell out of Los Angeles. I would think that. So getting back over to San Diego State, I'm a traditionalist. I think a lot of people are. When you see USC, you know who they are. They've got 2 uniforms. When you see a lot of teams, Georgia, you know who they are. San Diego State, this uniform, they've taken the nickname Aztecs, and they pretty much disowned it because of the political pressure out there. They basically caved into that. So the word Aztecs, you won't see in any of their uniforms anymore. And I think that's hideous. That's wrong, for many different reasons. The current uniform, the football uniform, if you ask me, I know you like it, but it looks like they got into a paintball war. I don't understand what in the heck they're trying to achieve with that. There needs to be a distinctive logo. It needs to be a traditional logo that when you see it, people understand it. They know who it is. I don't think you could take that uniform right now and find 10 people on the street and say, who does that belong to? And I think that's a real problem out there. They've got to get back to the tradition of Aztecs. That's who we are. That's what we are. Stop capitulating to the politically correct crowd. We've been through that out there. They dumped the Aztec warrior that was actually culturally correct and approved by those who are involved with such studies. I don't understand these guys. And, they continue to just absolutely anger all sorts of different segments of their supporters.
Yeah, and Kevin, I gotta get rolling here, but there's a lot of things I agree with Kevin on that. I mean, there's a lot of times I go like, I don't know what San Diego State's doing, especially with football. I mean, I don't. Basketball, they have jerseys that say Aztecs still, and they sell stuff that says Aztecs and everything like that. I just don't know what the football program's doing. I'm curious about. I mean, Kevin is he's a realist. He's also probably more on the pessimistic side of a lot of things. And he usually pokes a lot of holes in a lot of, and he's like over ecstatic about the one down in Chula Vista. Maybe because it benefits Chula Vista, but it seems like it's a good sign. I'm kind of curious, like, would you, I just, from a financial standpoint, if you're the Chargers, right? Like, why would you, is that something you'd want to get involved with? I know for a fact, like, Stan Kroenke, if he had an opportunity and it's like he had to write a check to get rid of the Chargers, I know for a fact he would. We're just kind of spitballing outside here. But it goes back to the whole situation of, like, what I've said before on any of these big projects. If you build it, they will come. Now, whether or not you want the Spanos family back here is a different story. I personally would not want to see them back. I wouldn't mind seeing the Chargers back. But let me ask you this question. Let's say Kevin's, is it fair to say outlandish? I mean, it's a reach. Let's say Kevin's reach comes to fruition. And this thing passes, and they start building a 50,000-seat stadium. And they make a phone call to the Chargers. And they work out a deal. And they decide to come back. Like, what's your reaction to that exactly?
I don't think the Chargers would come back with the Spanoses, because the Spanoses
they wouldn't.
Because that would to them that would be admitting defeat. They put so many eggs into the going to Los Angeles basket for them to turn tail and come back. And I think especially if it is the Spanos family that is running the team, if they do decide to come back, fans are still going to revolt. They're not going to go because they don't want to support. It's not because they don't want to support the team. It's because they don't want to support the family.
Well, I don't want to support the family, but if they change owners and stayed in LA, I still wouldn't support the team. It's not my team anymore. They're in Los Angeles.
But I'm
not supporting the city.
I think if you would have a better shot at getting fans to come to the game and embrace the team if the Spanoses were not involved and they return. I think that would be your best case scenario, is for the Spanos to sell the team and for the Chargers to come back. That would be your best case scenario to try to get people behind the Chargers coming back here.
I think people would embrace them regardless because it's the National Football League. I think honestly, and I think our station, we definitely crushed that team as many times as possible, as we should. I mean, and I always upset Charger fans in the chat. They're like, it's whatever, dude. You root for a team that loses a lot and that makes bad decisions. But I will say this. I think as a station, we ignore a lot of the fact that most of their fans are still here. And there is a big contingent of Charger fans still in San Diego that still like the team. But unfortunately, like the group, there's no like mild fans. It's either like you hate them or you're like a diehard supporter. So they still have that support. And if they came back, they'd still be okay. Now, as you mentioned, Frank, I think the most realistic situation that could play out in Kevin's, I don't want to call it a hypothesis. It's not really a hypothesis, but let's say the
scenario,
the OG Kevin and Chula Vista prophecy. The most likely situation is because you talk about the Spanos family and they have all these debts, and they're not paying out the charities up there in Los Angeles, and the sister wants to sell. I don't even know what's happened with any of that stuff. That stuff's just like disappeared. But the only way that the decision to move to Los Angeles makes any sense for them, and this is what we talked about when it happened, was improving the value of the team, not liquid assets. It's all about selling the team. Now, if they are dumb enough to move up there, thinking it's just going to make them more liquid assets, which it might, who knows? I don't think it has been. And then they move back, and they still are so egotistical that they want to keep the team. Then they're dumb financially. If they're intelligent about their finances, they're up there for the years they need to be up there. I don't even know if they've started paying the relocation fee. But here's the thing that makes the most sense to me on this new project in Chula Vista and how it impacts maybe a franchise like the Chargers or the National Football League. Spanos sells. A new group buys the Chargers. Kroenke is willing, I almost guarantee you he's willing to pay money to get him out of their building. He gets out of the Chargers move out of the building down to, and the NFL waives the relocation fees that they were probably owed. I bet you the NFL would even throw in some money to help them move, because this is the market that they wanted to stay in. I mean, think about the Super Bowls that you can host. You're going to have it right next to the Gaylord, where the convention center, in a brand new nice hotel right on the bayfront. I haven't seen it up in person, but I heard it's gorgeous. Might be time for a field trip, Frank.
We got
see if they've cleaned up that area.
We have a bunch of field trips that we need to get permission slips signed off on.
But if you're thinking from from a business perspective, it makes a lot of sense for everybody but the Spanos family, unless they sell. And if they do sell, which they should, it's a win-win-win for everybody. But you know what happens though? Like this is where you have to really dive into this for a second. You don't spark conversations like this unless you have somewhere to play. This is why you build bigger stadiums. Like if San Diego State built an NFL-sized stadium, everybody's like, what do they need that for? They're never going to fill it. Well, if they would have built one, they'd already be having some of these conversations. You'd have more groups be willing to buy the team. You'd have more groups trying to put things together. I've heard about a couple of groups that wanted to buy the Chargers. Give them a place to be. I'd rather be somewhat part owner to throw some money at it of the stadium than renting for anybody. It's an interesting topic of discussion that I didn't think we'd get to today. But it's a win for the NFL if they wanted to come back here. I'm pretty sure that thing's tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Did we talk about that last week?
I think we did.
They said Tuesday night was going to, and it sounds like it's going to go quickly because it doesn't involve San Diego. It's Chula Vista.
But the structure of the deal, you mentioned the relocation fee.
Have they started paying that yet? It was like $600 million.
The structure of the original deal was it is $645 million beginning December 2019 to be paid off in full by December 2028. So they should be in the middle of it right now, like towards the back end of it. They should have paid most of it
but
off by now.
as of like last year, they still hadn't paid a dime, and they kept pushing it back.
That's great.
So I don't think they've paid it. I mean, I'd have to go look it up.
But again, that was according to the original deal. That was supposed to be December 2019 to 2028.
Right. And I know they just built a brand new facility somewhere, but you can own all those facilities. That's not going to be a deterrent for overall other things.
El Segundo, according to Nathan
Costa
McGrath in the
Mesa.
chat.
They buy all that. They'd sell that stuff. I mean, shoot, the city of San Diego's still paying off the one that was here. That didn't stop them from leaving this place.
Well, you know.
It's right. 833-288-0973. You want to put that in the YouTube chat?
What?
The poll? Somebody asked for it.
What poll? I'll put a poll. That's fine.
Yeah, put a poll in there about the Chargers.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Have fun with that.
I will.
Be creative.
I plan on it.
833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. We got to take a quick break. Jamie and San Ysidro will get to you when we come back. Braden Surprenant Show, sending his number Sports Station 97 through the Fan. 11:22. Little topical thing there, spurred by Kevin Chula Vista. It's gonna scare everybody away. The new facility down in Chula Vista. They have a big meeting tonight. We got to get Jennifer Van Grove on.
Yeah, that we did talk about that last week.
Either next week or either end of this week or next week. I know we got a packed house rest of the week. But I need to know more about this facility down there. I mean, it makes it makes a lot of sense. Like if you are let's think about this from a business perspective. There's probably a lot of other business people out there that could make it even more business savvy. But from a financial perspective, let me talk about it from this angle. And I'm not talking from the best decision the Spanos family could do is sell the Chargers because that's where they're going to make the most money. It ain't going to be in LA, and it's not going to be in San Diego. If they move the Chargers back, they're going to lose a little value. I don't know how much value they'd honestly lose, but their money is being made by selling the team, nothing else. But let's talk about it from this perspective. Let's say you're an investment group. Let's say you're an investment group that wants to buy the NFL team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically. Spanos family decides to sell. If you have the wherewithal, and again, you have to have a big group, right? Because it's billions of dollars we're talking about here. The money is not made with the money is made with the team's going to go up in value because all teams are going to, all teams usually go up in value. That's where you make your money. You're going to make a lot of good money in the NFL. The revenue is high all the time. So owning an NFL team is already lucrative as it is. But let's say you are a group from San Diego and you buy the Chargers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the project is getting worked on in Chula Vista for this new complex.
Yeah.
You buy in to the project for a percentage of the stake. I mean, we're talking about an area that's going to be very, very lucrative to a lot of places. And if you decide to bring your team there, not only is the investment group that's running this project willing to give up money for certain things, because they're going to get an investment from the Chargers org,
mm-hmm.
and that Chargers org is going to bring the National Football League to their facility all the time. And not only that, how many times we watch the NFL draft at just undesirable locations? Are you telling me an NFL draft down at the Gaylord on the Bay wouldn't be like the greatest thing ever? Think
Somewhere
about the
downtown
crowds
even.
they get. I mean, you are bringing in a high-level tenant, or you split it, or whatever you want to do. It's highly lucrative for whoever does it. So it makes financial sense. It makes financial sense for probably somebody to buy the team. But honestly, if you're the Spanos family, aside from the fact that your wealth is very good, to me, this makes a lot more financial sense than the money you invested in your training complex up there and staying at SoFi. To me, the reason why they're in LA is the value of their franchise. That's the only thing that makes a lot of sense. So financially, I think it makes sense. I don't think Kevin's that far off on this particular deal.
Oh, and you got to remember also, there were 3 Super Bowls at the Q.
Yeah, and that was
you're bringing the Super Bowl back here.
That was a complete pile of garbage, that stadium. It was our complete pile of garbage.
It was.
And we loved it dearly, but it was garbage. I have been to a lot of stadiums now in my life. Qualcomm is in my top 3 probably worst stadiums I've ever been to. Angel Stadium's in there too. Awful. There's nothing great about that place. The place has been falling apart since before I was alive. Mostly because I like put any money into it. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Kevin in Oceanside, you're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, hello, Braden and Frank. Long time since I've called. I'm more of a listener than a caller, but the conversation kind of intrigued me, and I think that if the Spanos don't want to come to San Diego, great. Who cares? Nobody likes them here anyways. They screwed us a long time ago. However, if the NFL wants to bring a team here to San Diego, Chula Vista, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Spanos family claim San Diego as their territory. So there might be a fight in order to get a team in here.
Well, yeah, but who's got clout in the National Football League? Guys like Stan Kroenke or guys like Dean Spanos? What's your answer on that, Frank?
Maybe the guy who built a giant stadium in L.A.
It's Stan Kroenke. You know what they're going to do with Dean Spanos? They're just going to be like, see it, Dean. We don't care. If Stan Kroenke wants him out, he's out. And I mean, you got to understand the powers that be in the National Football League. I love hearing that territory thing all the time because people think there's like allegiances. There's no honor amongst thieves. I mean, let's think about the people that are owning NFL franchises and NHL franchises and NBA franchises. There is no honor amongst thieves. So anybody that always goes like, oh, they would never have an NHL team in San Diego because, the Anaheim Ducks would get all upset. Well, if the rest of the NHL doesn't give a rat's ass about the Anaheim Ducks and they can make them more money, they're going to be like, tough ass, dude, we're moving a team here.
Mm-hmm.
It's called power. That's like isn't that the whole premise of the show, old show before it was canceled, House of Cards, was like about power?
Yeah.
And why power is more important than money? Now, money leads to a lot of power, but I'm going to be telling you right now, like everybody that always says, well, the NBA would never allow a team now there because they already have two teams. If it makes them more money, they don't care.
Especially in the Southern California market.
Right.
It's all considered the Southern California market. That's why, going back to a conversation we had a couple of weeks ago with NASCAR wanting to come here, that's why they tried to fit a racetrack in the LA Coliseum. That's why ever since they've left Fontana, that's why they raced at Riverside all those years ago. That's why they're talking about wanting to run a race down here on the streets of San Diego, is because they want the money from the market. Southern California is a massive, massive market. So the more exposure you can get out here, the better off your league or your sport is going to be.
There's a lot of teams out there in the East Coast that are really close to each other.
Yes.
Big market area, too.
Yeah.
Philly, New Jersey, New York, all those areas. Baltimore down the road.
It upsets me that you put New York at the bottom of that list behind Philadelphia and New Jersey, but I'll let it slide.
You didn't know what order I was going in for what reasons. You know what? You should be thankful for the order. Maybe I went in
worst to best.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough.
Maybe I was going in bleep order. Huh, maybe that, huh? You never know. But you know what? Now I'm not. Now it was best to last. New York guy. Getting all upset about Philly all the time. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. We got a poll in the YouTube chat. Vote on it if you haven't done so already. Would you support the Chargers returning to San Diego? Yes, even with Spanos, only 31%. Yes, only without the Spanos family, 50%. They burnt that bridge to a crisp, 19%. And let's be honest, I agree. Stan Kroenke only allowed the Chargers into his building as a favor to the National Football League. That wasn't like he wanted them to do that. Because he's not making any money on that deal. He gets $1. It's like a forced marriage that they had to do. He wants them out. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this afternoon in the meeting. And they got to get that thing rolling. But I agree with Kevin and Chula. They got to make a phone call. At least ask. What do we got to do to get you down here? How much of the investment do you want to put in?
Even if it's a 0.001%, that's still better than zero.
Might as well. Start trying to fill the place.
Insert Jim Carrey Dumb and Dumber meme here. So you're
saying
telling me there's a chance.
I think it opens up the window for another deal. Another it opens up. It opens up a conversation. It's the type of news you need. Now, we need Stan Kroenke to build an arena so we can start opening up that conversation. I don't know how the negotiations have been going on that, but we need to catch up with Jennifer Van Grove. She'll probably have more on that. We need to take a quick break. What's going on in AAA El Paso? And how has A.J. Preller done in the draft the last 10 years? transition back into Padres baseball before Frank finally gets his taco. Coming up next, San Diego's number one sports station, 97 through the Fan. Baseball coverage on 97 through the Fans, presented by T-Mobile. Head to T-Mobile.com and get a great deal on iPhone 16 Pro. It's about to get to Jamie in San Ysidro. He just hung up. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. I can't wait for the next segment. Frank's finally going to get a taco.
Are they here?
They were going to be here anywhere between 11:30 and 11:45.
Okay, so we're in the window here.
We are in the break zone. We are in the taco zone. Juan Ruiz gets the chat of the day on the YouTube chat.
You got a good laugh out of both of us.
I was dying. Frank getting rewarded with Kraft Taco for procrastinating is more of an injustice than Jacob Mizorowski getting an all-star nod. SMH. He's got a point, Frank. I mean, he's got...
You know what?
I LOL'd.
Oh, he did LOL. I would even say he LMAO'd, honestly.
Frank did too. Don't let him.
I did. No, that was very good.
All right, real quick, let's talk about the AAA crew. We're going to try to get you some minor league updates this week to kind of set the stage of what the Padres potentially have in the minor leagues for a trade in the next couple of weeks. Because as we saw on Sunday, Dennis Lin reported that do not be surprised if the Padres have a couple of new faces before they return to Petco Park, which is before the trade deadline. That'd be like around July 28th. The draft has been complete. We're going to talk about how AJ Preller has done in drafts the last, 10 years he's been the general manager, the last 10 drafts that he has had as the general manager of the San Diego Padres. But with the draft being over with, it's time to focus on the trade deadline for the next couple of weeks. What do they have worth to trade? Well, you got to look at the minor league system for a little bit. Here's just a quick synopsis. We couldn't really track anybody down in El Paso, but we will have later on today at 1 o'clock, we will have on Brian Yenelson, who is the broadcaster for the Missions, to talk a little bit more about Double-A. Maybe there's an update on Ethan Salas down there as well in terms of his injury. But let's talk about AAA El Paso. In the first half, the Chihuahuas went 38-37, third place in the PCL East, 11 games back in the league. They have already started the second half, in which they are 11-7 in the second half, puts them in first place in the Pacific Coast League East, and a game in front. Overall, the Chihuahuas this season are 49-44 and fourth in the PCL, trailing by 10 games. Top prospects in AAA El Paso. Tirso Ornelas is the 11th best prospect for the San Diego Padres, hitting .297 in El Paso, 3 homers, 30 RBIs, 34 runs scored, 6 stolen bases, but he hasn't played since June 12th with an injury. Bradley Rodriguez, bullpen piece for the Padres, potentially. 24 appearances this year. He's 5-0 with a 3.25 ERA over 27 2/3 innings, 34 strikeouts. He has made 5 starts. And in his 5 starts, he's 1-0 with a 3.38 ERA over 5 1/3 innings, 3 strikeouts in AAA. Possible arm for the future. Also could potentially be traded. Francis Pena is the 18th best prospect of the Padres, or he's in AAA El Paso. He's got 28 appearances, 3-2 with a 3.82 ERA, 35 1/3 innings pitched, 35 strikeouts. Played at high A, double A, and AAA all last season with really his Major League Baseball estimated time of arrival is expected to be this year, but we'll see about Francis Pena. He might be a trade option as well. Last one for you in El Paso, prospect Omar Cruz, 20th best prospect in the Padres org, 16 appearances, 11 starts, 1-4 with a 5.33 ERA, 49 innings pitched, 50 punchouts. Started the year in the bullpen, but has started 11 of his last 13. Only pitched 5 innings twice this season, and maybe a potential long reliever for the San Diego Padres. So, a little look at what the El Paso Chihuahuas are doing. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Let's get out to Dexter in Spring Valley before we get to the sports thread. Dexter, what's going on?
Hey, fellas, how's it going? So, I like the idea of if the NFL team moves back down here, that they play in Chula, because that would put them in a very unique situation, much like the Niners, the Giants, and the Jets, where they're playing outside of their main cities, and yet they're still being called by their main city. That would be kind of cool. And number two, and I'd like to talk to my buddy Long Island Frankie over there off the air about possibly helping you guys out with some fun Comic-Con related game ideas for your show.
We'll leave Dexter on hold, and Frank will get his information after the sports thread, Frank, because we got to get to that.
Yes.
But Dexter has sent me a lot of ideas. So many ideas that it's hard to consume in one sitting. So he's got a lot of. He's our resident Comic-Con. I'd say racing expert too, but Frank kind of takes the cake on that deal. So, and we do want to have some type of coverage. I know Hamby wants to help out too, so we'll have some of that. Jamie and San Ysidro, been waiting on hold long enough. What's going on, man?
How's it going, gentlemen?
What do you got?
I just want to get back to, now we're back to baseball. The All-Star game with Zarowski coming in. The prestige that we used to remember, it's not like that anymore. These younger guys, they are not so concerned about the prestige. They want somebody. Zarowski absolutely should have said yes. He was smart too, but they asked 12 other pitchers who said no. They don't care as much as we used to back in the day. Number two, Spanos coming back here would never fly, but a football team might, just not with him.
I'm interested to see you said that, Jamie, and thanks again for the phone call. Like, if they moved back, nobody would show up. Is that what we're saying, Frank? I find that hard to believe when most of the people that up there are, to go to their games are still here.
Yeah.
I just, to say it will never fly. I mean, I just think a lot of people would be like, I'm out. But they move back here with Spanos or without Spanos, Frank. Let me tell you, people will be dusting off their jerseys real fast.
I think it would be more so without the Spanos family, but yeah, it's the NFL. NFL is king. As much as I hate it, that is the way it is.
You hate the antics of the NFL.
Yes.
They have a lot of antics.
I hate the league. I don't hate the game. I hate the league.
Speaking of the league and the game and things that are games and leagues that are not the San Diego Padres, it's time to get to the sports thread.
You know that group chat? The one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me?
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk.
All right, Frank, what do we got today?
All right, so today we are going to stick with Major League Baseball for
number 1,
and that would be the Tampa Bay Rays. Not only did the Rays say today that if any playoff games or, God forbid, the World Series were to be played through Tampa Bay, they would have to be played at Steinbrenner Field. We got word yesterday that Stu Sternberg, the owner of the Tampa Bay Rays, has agreed in principle to a $1.7 billion deal to sell the franchise to a group led by Florida-based developer Patrick Zolput. I'm not going to hurt myself pronouncing
Something named Patrick.
Yeah, exactly. The deal is reportedly expected to be closed early in September and will keep the franchise in the area, with Patrick, a home builder in Jacksonville, having a strong preference to land in Tampa Bay rather than St. Petersburg. Sternberg bought the Rays in 2004 for $200 million, a pretty nice profit. Do you see the Rays genuinely sticking in Tampa Bay now?
Well, he said they were going to, so at this point, I guess. But, there's always markets wearing their ugly head around. Nashville, maybe
Nashville's
being one of them.
One that I've been hearing.
We've heard from the Rays that they a couple of years ago wanted to play half their games in Montreal and half their games in Tampa. I mean, they can't get a stadium built. You never know. Then we go through the stadium saga again. So I'd put it at probably 85% they stay in Tampa.
I would agree with that, but it is interesting now.
They said Sorry to interrupt, but they said that they're going to play at Steinbrenner Field.
Yes, they will be playing playoff and World Series at Steinbrenner Field.
If they make it that far.
I hope they do.
I wanted the Oakland A's to have a resurgence, just to have a Rays A's playoff series.
No, not a playoff series. I want the ALCS in Sacramento and in Tampa Bay. That is the dream scenario for anyone who wants to watch Manfred jump off a building.
Number 2.
The New York Jets made some news yesterday. If you were watching ESPN, you didn't see anything about the home run derby, but you saw this. Jets and wide receiver Garrett Wilson have agreed to a 4-year, $130 million contract extension that makes him one of the highest paid wide receivers in the NFL. The deal includes $90 million guaranteed, the fourth most in a wide receiver contract. It marks the first time in NFL history that a receiver has received an average of over $31 million after playing only 3 seasons in the league. Good signing by the New York Jetropolitans.
Did you call them the Jetropolitans?
Yeah. Well, the Mets are the Metropolitans, and so going off of that,
are
the Mets,
are the Nets the Metropolitans?
You knew where I was going with that.
Oh man, the Jets, Mets, the poor Mets, Jets, and Nets fans out there. Is it a good signing? I mean, I'm never super big on signing receivers to long-term deals because receivers, there's a phrase they're called. They're a dime a dozen. I think Garrett Wilson's a good player. I think he's a really good player, really good receiver. But it is the Jets.
Yep.
So, until they start improving again, their offensive line, defensive, I just don't know where they're at right now. It's a brand new coaching staff. So we'll see as they embark on the post Aaron Rodgers era. What a long year it was. Overall, I mean, you get to keep a good player in town. So it's every time you do that, it's good.
Number 3.
We're sticking with the NFL and sticking with wide receivers. This time we're going to Scraby Land in San Francisco, where Jawan Jennings, who is scheduled to make $7.5 million in the final year of his deal, wants a new contract. It marks the second straight summer for the Niners that the Niners are in this situation with a receiver who wants to be paid or wants to be traded. And this year's situation is indirectly tied to last year's scenario with Brandon Ayuk. Should teams really be giving into these players who are saying either pay me or trade me?
Should organizations negotiate with...
If you're I'm sorry, but if you're a player giving me an ultimatum, I was around before you. I'm going to be around after you. Kick rocks.
I agree. So we're talking about Jennings, right?
Yes.
So, how much pull does he have? How much pull does he think he has?
Enough to give the team an ultimatum.
Did I not just say receivers are a dime a dozen?
Yeah.
I just said that. It's not like, Debo kind of gave him an ultimatum, and they're like, okay, see ya. Mm-hmm. And Debo's way better than Jennings is. Even in his age that he's in right now. No. The only one to me that has any type of ultimatum are quarterbacks.
Yes.
If Patrick Mahomes says, pay me or trade me, okay, we got to fix this problem. But Jennings? You want Jennings for the Niners?
Give me a break.
What player do you think you are, dude? All right, go ahead, leave. And you know what it's going to do? It's going to cost an NFL team who's going to overpay for him.
Yep.
Another spot. This is what makes the salary cap so interesting and fascinating and fun.
Yeah,
which we'll talk about later on in the show.
Exactly. We'll talk with Bill Shaken at 12:30 on Thursday.
Number 4.
The Sun Belt, after losing the notorious and prestigious Texas State, has now voted to invite Louisiana Tech as the league's 14th member. Yesterday morning. Louisiana Tech's entry date into the conference is not certain, but the earliest is next year when 8 other teams are going to be realigning. The entry date is expected to be figured out over the next few weeks as Louisiana Tech works out its departure from Conference USA, which is expected to cost at least $5 million. Solid get for Louisiana Tech?
Yeah, it's all good for
I'm sorry, for
Louisiana
the Sun
Tech or
Belt. Sorry.
Belt.
for
I
the
mean, I
Sun
think
Belt.
it's probably good for the Sun Belt for sure. I mean, La Tech's not bad. La Tech's good in a handful of sports, right? Like, the football team's been pretty decent.
Yeah.
I mean, what at this point, where else are you going to go? Like, they could have West Kentucky, I guess. West Kentucky would have been a decent fit, but the Sun Belt's not a bad conference.
No, it's not.
Marshall, Georgia Southern, James Madison, Old Dominion, Coastal Carolina, App State, Georgia State, the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana, Arkansas State, South Alabama, ULM, Troy. So these are all decent football schools. I think it's going to be a pretty decent conference. It's going to be a highly competitive conference. You add La Tech to that after taking Texas State out. Put them in the West Division, not too much moves around, and it's a regional-based conference. I think that's going to work out for them.
Yeah, they are it is a very solid conference. It's a very solid team as well. The Sun Belt's really fun to watch if you do actually sit down and watch.
Number 5.
12 hours after Rory McIlroy wrapped up his second-place finish at the Scottish Open near Edinburgh, the five-time major winner walked up to the first tee at Royal Portrush around 7 a.m. local time on 4 hours of sleep to begin his first practice round in advance of this year's Open Championship. Fans were still trickling into the grounds, and no other player was within sight as McIlroy plodded his way around the golf course, where he still owns the course record of 61. So McIlroy is really getting into the Open Championship this year. Do you think this extra practice is going to help him win it?
Sometimes you don't want to practice too much. Can throw you off, stress you out.
4 hours of sleep, man.
That's ridiculous.
What a hero.
You need more sleep. You got to get at least 8 hours, Rory.
We have tacos in the building, folks.
Frank
Tacos are in the building.
Salivating at the tacos. We're going to have Eddie from Craft Taco on with us when we come back. Talk a little Craft Taco. 833-288-973. Braden Surprenant Show rolls on. Noon lunchtime hour when we come back.
It's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the gas lamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime use.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
Ready for the noon lunchtime hour on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Braden Surprenant Show with Frank Marchese. It's a special lunchtime hour for us today because not only is our noon lunchtime hour brought to you by Craft Taco, both flavors at 2 locations, Sereno Valley and inside Balboa Park's Natural History Museum, but Eddie from Craft Taco's here today to join us. So, Eddie, appreciate you coming in, dropping off some tacos, and thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Let's get your mic a little bit closer to your. There you go. So we had to make this happen because Frank tried to go to Craft Taco at the Nat, and he couldn't find it for some reason. And I said, this better be the hardest place to possibly find. And then you sent us the videos, and it was right there. I don't know what, he was distracted by all the great exhibits at the Nat. But we finally get to bring him the Craft Taco. So you brought a lot of different stuff today, and this is the perfect day to do it. All-Star break, everything like that. Just real quick, how did you start Craft Taco? Born and raised San Diegan, obviously, like where you grew up and kind of the story behind what you started.
Yeah, so I've always been in the restaurant industry my whole life. I grew up in a family. We owned a Mexican grocery store down in Chula Vista called Otay Farms, and just kind of been around the product. And since I got all my experience working downtown, working in restaurants throughout all of San Diego, I finally told myself, like, hey, now's my chance to do it. And so when everything slowed down during the pandemic, that's when we got our food truck. So June 2020 is when we started. We've been in business for over 5 years now. 2022 is when we moved into our first brick and mortar. And now we have 2 locations, one in Balboa Park and Sereno Valley. But definitely the hardest thing I've ever done.
Well, it's pretty cool, as we're talking with Eddie from Craft Taco, who brought us some tacos today. You have a signature look on all of your tacos. And when we talked about this before, you said it was a process to get the exact consistency, the exact color that you were looking for. But tacos have a little bit of a blue-purple hint to it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a process making tortillas, just trying to be unique, different, and have high quality ingredients. So yeah, we overly obsessed over just making tortillas, and we decided to start using blue corn, and we hand make the blue corn to order at the restaurant. And it was a complete obsession because blue corn is very hard to handle, and we finally perfected it. And yeah, so all our tacos are served on blue corn tortillas, and which we get help from Otay Farms down in Chula Vista.
How would you describe, I mean, like your the tacos in general? And I want to get into a little bit of, because you're a Padres fan. You got the Padres hat on. Every time I've been at Craft Taco, the Padres have been on. You can watch the game there as you devour some tacos. But how would you like describe the style of Mexican food that you have? Because you do a lot of fusion stuff too, and mix in with a lot of different cultures, which is super cool.
Yeah, I guess for the style, I like to call it San Diego style Mexican food, where I grew up in Chula Vista. I frequently get some change out of my house, go walk down to the taco shop, grab a burrito, go back home. California burritos was like way of life, carne asada fries, just so San Diego style really. And when it comes to the uniqueness, when we started the food truck, we really wanted to set ourselves apart and wanted to be one of the most professional food trucks there was in San Diego or ever was. To the point where we handmade tortillas, we got chef coats fitted for all the chefs. Everyone was in uniform. We had matching shoes. We looked like a basketball team going on court. We were all about it. We were taking orders outside of the truck, running food to tables. We had waiters. We we did it all, and expectations were really low in a food truck when you go place an order. And it was one of the most amazing things, seeing people's expressions as soon as you deliver the food or the service that they were getting, and it worked out. Yeah, so we treated people right, and we try to make really good food.
Tacos are great. You also got burritos too. You brought Kevin a surf and turf burrito. You brought myself it's probably one of the better California burritos I've had in San Diego. He made sure there's no pico. Not a big pico guy, but it's not just tacos. You guys make other things too.
Yeah, so we got the California burritos, surf and turf burritos. We got fish burritos, meat and cheese. We have a great happy hour, which has carne asada fries on it. Our happy hour is all, it's listed on our website, but we do half off appetizers, and then we do specials on drinks. But carne asada fries is on there. We use cochinita pibil in our fries as well. House-made Caesar salads, which the biggest reason why we have a Caesar salad on there is because Caesar salad originated in Tijuana. So it was kind of like a little tie-in between Tijuana, which is known for having amazing tacos, and paying homage to the Caesar salad as well, was something important to add onto the menu.
We're talking with Eddie from Craft Taco, now a big Padres guy. What do we feel? Padres fan, how are we feeling about the first half of the season? We get to take a little breath now after the first going in and day out. How are we feeling as a Padres fan going to the All-Star break?
Well, the last couple of games made me feel a little better, but it was definitely, I don't know if it was me or what it was, because every time I would turn on the TV or go to a game, man, it was just kind of heartbreaking. Seeing all the guys left on base and everything. But the way we started the season, thank goodness we started the season that way, because we would be way behind right now, or maybe not even talking about who we're going to trade for, because we're just 4.5 games back.
5.5 back for the division.
Yeah.
Half game in front of the Giants for the wild card spot. All-Star game tonight. You going to tune in the All-Star game appeal to you anymore?
It does. Like, I want to see our boys out there just smiling. I already saw Machado smiling out there, and Suarez with the whole Ohtani thing. And, it's fun to see our guys having a good time. And this is what they work hard for, and seeing them recognized for their hard work and their dedication to their craft. And it's pretty awesome. It is meaningless baseball, but it's just fun to watch.
But, we talk about the rivalry, right? And so they've been chummy with the Dodgers up there, but, You've been representing San Diego in some rivalries with LA and some cooking competitions. I know you were on a show and had a fun story of taking it to Los Angeles not too long ago. Tell us a little bit about your little food competition you had between San Diego and LA.
Yeah, that's so funny you brought that up. I didn't realize that you remember that. But we when we were in the food truck, we got asked to do a TV show. And the whole concept of the show was this really popular food truck in LA. They were going to everyone's city and trying to outdo them in their game. And so they came down here, and we filmed for like 2-3 days, and they were trying to put a spin on their food, like our food, and us like their food. And of course, if I would have lost this, I don't think my dad probably would have blocked me my dad wouldn't be answering his phone calls right now. But it was definitely like one of those things. I was like, man, at the time, we weren't really winning a whole lot of games against any team in LA. And yeah, so it was like, not in my profession. I'm not gonna let this happen.
You got to take down LA in every any form possible. So Eddie started the nice little run that the Padres have had by getting the first dub against Los Angeles. We got a little bit of time here, and we want to break a little early so we can start devouring some of the food that you have brought. But you got a very, very fun menu, a lot of different avenues to go. You brought us a lot of food. We talked about the breakfast, the California burrito for myself, but you brought a couple things in here, and then talk to us about some of the food items that you brought for us to sample that a lot of people can go out there and enjoy.
Yeah, I brought a little bit of everything today. Of course, I brought your guys' favorites, like the California burrito, no pico, and then Kevin's surf and turf burrito. But one of my favorite things that we have on our menu is our fish taco.
Yeah, let me show that really quick on camera.
Yeah, we have an excellent fish taco. Of course, this is just to go. We love to plate it out and make it really nice on at the restaurant. And but our fish taco is a mahi fillet. We cook it in beer batter. We use cabbage, cucumber, tomato, cotija cheese, micro cilantro, all on top of a freshly pressed blue corn tortilla. It's pretty much my mom's recipe growing up. And I just remember sitting down at the dinner table. We would always make this joke with my mom and my dad. You know, we would always say, Mom, one day we're gonna hit it big, and we're gonna open up a restaurant for you, Mom. We're gonna serve your fish tacos, and everything's gonna be good. And sure enough, we have our taco at our restaurant, and everything is good.
And then you had this one is with some ribeye and a little bit of spice. What was this one again?
Yeah, so that's our bulgogi taco. That's so not very traditional, not very Mexican, but it's the flavors that really pair really well together. We did a ribeye steak. Very thinly sliced. We marinated it with our bulgogi seasoning, like our barbecue sauce, and we add spicy kimchi, pickled onions, micro cilantro, and sriracha aioli on it. So it does have a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of spice with that barbecue sauce, and it just tastes really good.
It smells delicious. A lot of people in the YouTube chat think they can smell it as well. The fish taco looks great. There's a lot of stuff that you brought. You have your classic tacos too, right? So you have like the carne asada taco, carnitas, a lot of the traditional flavors. You got I think you have like kind of like a quesadilla kind of taco, but it was like pork or something.
Yeah, we make in-house our cochinita pibil. So it's slow cooked pork and achiote and citrus, has really nice sweet notes to it. It's very flavorful style pork. And we do make that almost like a birria queso taco, but we do the cochinita queso taco. We add cotija cheese on top, pickled onions, red onions, and micro cilantro. One of my favorite things on our menu.
And then we have somebody asking a lot of veggie options besides the bean and cheese.
Oh, so for veggies, we have our nopales taco. Excellent. So we use our blue corn. We melt Oaxacan cheese. The nopales we mix with Mexican squash, poblano pepper, onion, and corn. We top that off with sriracha aioli and more cotija cheese and cilantro. Really tasty. And then we could also make that vegan with just adding guacamole and cilantro to it on top. But we have our options for everyone that has any dietary restrictions.
It's all good. I mean, everything that you brought out to us the last time, I devoured, and I'm starving. So we got to take a quick break. But real quick, Eddie. Again, thanks for coming on. Obviously, thanks for the big support of the show. We definitely appreciate everything that you've done, for us and helping our show. But anything else that you want to get out in terms of some different tacos that we haven't mentioned yet, or some big reasons to go check you guys out?
No, the museum's a lot of fun. Nata Night's a lot of fun. We match the same hours as the museum, and over at Sereno Valley, that's kind of our main location. We have a great happy hour, and yeah. So whenever we do have new things going, we'll let you know, Braden, and we'll let you try it. And yeah, and I just want everyone out there listening that the Craft Taco loves the Padres.
Craft Taco loves the Padres. That's a great way to end it. Eddie from Craft Taco, thanks again for joining us. Really appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break. Talk more Padres baseball on the other end of this break on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. I needed a little extra time right there. I'm trying to devour as much food as possible in a small amount of time. The what did he call this one? The bulgogi with the ribeye and the pickled onions and stuff. So good. It's a little bit too spicy for Frank.
Yeah.
Frank just consumed. He just was able to get a little bit simpler.
Yeah.
A little carne asada, a little cheese. How was it?
It was amazing. 10 out of 10. We'll be going back. 10 out of 10. We'll be going to the Nat and knowing where it is. That was very, very good.
There's a couple other ones in here.
Thank you very much.
The cactus one looks great. I haven't had that yet. I didn't get to have their fish taco last time, but that one's awesome. It looks delicious. I like the Craft Taco shirt, by the way. He's already repping it.
Yes.
There's so much good stuff. But we appreciate Eddie coming by, doing that. He's doing the rounds right now. And I'm not sharing with anybody.
Nor should you.
No.
And I wouldn't either if I could eat more than I did already.
Let's quickly talk about Ilosky. Haven't had too much time to talk about it. Frank is our resident soccer expert.
Yes.
And we have some bad news about Ilosky and San Diego FC. Frank, the people of San Diego just learned about players on loan the hard way.
Well, no, it's not great. So what happens is in soccer, it's not, for those of you who don't know, it's not like any other sport. It's not like baseball. It's not like basketball where you trade guys away. What you do is you either buy them straight up, you buy their contract straight up, or you loan them. Now, typically with a guy on loan, what you would do is you'd get a younger player to a lesser team. Like let's say Chelsea has this young kid that they really want to get playing time, but he's not good to break into the team. They'll loan him out to a lower team so he gets that playing time. But at the end of the day, he's still Chelsea's player.
Right.
This was kind of the case in order to fill out the roster for San Diego FC. So what they did was Ilosky was sent on loan from their sister club in Denmark, sent him here for a year loan. And this is also part of the reason why the European soccer schedule is superior, is because everything goes by it. They sent him here on loan, so he still belongs to the team in Denmark. San Diego FC and Milan Ilosky could not agree to a contract extension. So now because of that, he goes back to the team in Denmark, which is his parent club.
So he'll be there and no longer playing for San Diego FC. That's a
Correct.
big blow for tomorrow.
Yes.
In which San Diego FC is back in action against Toronto FC. And before Saturday, where they play Vancouver at home, back to been a battle for first place in the Western Conference.
Yes.
They were able to knock off Chicago Fire last weekend in Chicago. Andres Dreyer had a goal in the 18th minute, or in the 8th minute, and then 3 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. Andres Dreyer leads the MLS with 26 goals, fifth most by a player through 22 matches in MLS history.
26 goal contributions. So goals and assists.
San Diego FC now leads Minnesota United by 2 points after a second Vancouver loss in a row. And Andres Dreyer is up there for MVP levels of the MLS. So not only do you have a brand new MLS franchise here in San Diego, who are in first place in the Western Conference, but you also have an MVP caliber player. And this league also has Messi in it. It's a pretty impressive start to your first year of San Diego FC.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is their one East Coast team that they'll play this year. Toronto coming up tomorrow. We will get into it a little bit more tomorrow. And then you also have Vancouver in the reverse fixture on Saturday. So still a big game in Vancouver. Ever since San Diego beat Vancouver about a month ago, Vancouver has not played well. They beat LAFC 1-0, and then they've lost, I believe, 3-0 their last two matches to the LA Galaxy and then to Colorado Rapids this past weekend. So they've been on a real downturn ever since San Diego FC beat them.
What is the impact on Ilosky not being part of the team going forward now, especially going into tomorrow's match?
Depth. It hurts depth big time because now you had that guy who was coming off the bench, now is who was turned out to be a big scorer. Now you have to revert back to the way it was at the beginning of the season, and you don't have him as an option. So it changes a lot. And I believe it's Valkyrie is the guy, is the forward. Who's going to be going back to his starting role, but that they don't have the same playing style. So he might not be in the same spots. He may not have the same natural instincts that Ilosky had. So some of those goals that you saw may not come as easy or come as often. So it could be an offensive downtick, but then again, it's returning back to normal. It's returning back to what it was before the Gold Cup and all the international stuff started.
San Diego FC in action tomorrow at Snapdragon Stadium, 7:30 on MLS Season Pass, and then they will be back in action again on Saturday. So a little bit of a two-game homestand here for San Diego FC as they take on Toronto FC tomorrow, and they take on Vancouver on Saturday, trying to stay atop of the leaderboard in the Western Conference. A lot of things to update you on, aside from tacos. Would you support the Chargers returning to San Diego? That was kind of spurred a little bit today with conversations about the new facility getting built down in Chula Vista and what potential, what possibilities they have out there. We had three answers to the would you support the Chargers returning to San Diego poll. 50% says yes, only without the Spanos family. 29% yes, even with the Spanos family. And 21% said they burned that bridge. So 79, almost 80% of people in San Diego would support it. But it's the National Football League, so you never know.
Yeah, and again, it's exactly right. It's the NFL. The NFL rules all. And with the Chargers coming back, a lot of it will disappear. But there will be a contingency of fans, and I think the majority, at least of the 63 people that voted, that it's going to be a lot harder for them to do if it's not the Spanos family. If it's the Spanos family in charge.
I think it'd just be, I don't think it's going to be water off the duck's back with them showing up if they decide to show up. And there's nothing that says that they would, and there's nothing that's saying, it's an interesting point of conversation that we had earlier today about the new facilities that they want to build down in Chula Vista, being an NFL-sized stadium, and just making a phone call, just be like, hey, part of the investment, you could have your own building. And it's low percentage, but it's still interesting. And the other thing that's interesting is somebody else being interested in buying the Chargers and then moving them to that, and then them being part of maybe the new group down there. So it was an interesting piece of conversation. What else is interesting is what's going on around Major League Baseball. And we're going to get to some of the stuff in the 1 o'clock hour on the salary cap conversation, which happened today at the All-Star game, and where the 2028 All-Star game will be if one other thing happens. But before we do that, the MLB draft happened this week. AJ Preller has a new draft class. How has he done in his tenure as a Padres general manager? We'll talk about that when we Braden Surprenant show, sending us on Sports Station 97 through the Fan. I see people circling the food. I have brought it in studio. Instead, I just took a bite of the fish taco. That's a top 5 fish taco. I mean, I'm telling you, like, that's. I'm not the biggest fish taco connoisseur, but that has to be one of the best fish tacos I've ever had. They're circling. I saved Kevin's out there. I should have brought it in here. He got the surf and turf California burritos. He's got the shrimp. It's good stuff. I usually don't go with the surf and turf California burrito. I just feel like it's a lot of extra stuff. But a lot of people like it. But their shrimp tacos, fish tacos, everything, craft taco, good stuff. Now, this hour, not only is the noon lunchtime hour brought to you by Craft Taco, but it's also the midday sports standoff hour, in which if you call in and take me down in some sports trivia, you will be qualified for a chance to win a grand prize, a 2-night stay at Park MGM Las Vegas, 2 tickets to Motley Crue on September 19th, and a $100 gas card. Catch Motley Crue's Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM September 12th through October 3rd. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. We're talking MLB draft. Final poll results, 51% of people would support the Chargers returning to San Diego, only without the Spanos family. 28% said regardless. 20% have said they burn that bridge. 80% said yes. Not surprised. Let's talk about what A.J. Preller's done in the MLB draft. This year, one thing, right? I mean, it's hard to evaluate a draft after it happens. There's a lot of high school players in Major League Baseball's draft too, so it's not like you're going to get a good sense of, like, that guy's really good. As long as the Padres drafted players that they valued high on their board, it's going to be fine. I like their first pick in Schoolcraft. I think he's going to be pretty good. He's 6'8". He's already topping off at 97 miles an hour. I think it's very hard to mess up a first-round pick. In fact, the Padres have done very well with the first-round pick. If you look at the first-round picks that the Padres have taken since A.J. Preller has taken over, all first-round picks since 2021 have made the big leagues with the exception of 2016. Now, that might seem oddly specific, but, you know, first-round draft picks from the last couple of years making it to the big leagues already is a daunting ask. Dylan Lesko, class of 2022, has not made the big leagues yet. Cash Mayfield obviously was picked last year, hasn't made the big leagues yet. Dylan Head of 2023 hasn't made the big leagues yet. And, of course, Cruz Schoolcraft, who's already listed on this list. But if you look at the last 10 years of draft picks, so that's 2016 on. You can even look at 2015 on. Mackenzie Gore, first-round pick, has made the big leagues. He's already made an all-star game. C.J. Abrams, first-round pick, has made the big leagues, has made an all-star game. Ryan Weathers, first-round picks, made the big leagues. Cal Quantrill, first-round picks, made the big leagues. Robert Hassel III, first-round pick, made the big leagues. Eric Lauer, first-round picks, made the big leagues. Jackson Merrill, first-round pick, has made the big leagues and has made an all-star game. That's pretty remarkable. That's pretty good stretch right there. You're not going to hit on everybody. But in the last 10 years, the Padres have had 53 draft picks make the big leagues. And as I mentioned before, all first-round picks since 2021 have made the big leagues except 2016. Well, in comparison, what would you look at? If you start looking at draft by draft, 2015 draft, 7 big leaguers in that draft, 1 all-star. Jacob Nix, Austin Allen made the big leagues. Trevor McGill, Brett Kennedy, Trey Wingender, Phil Maton, Ty France was your all-star in that draft. Again, not all of these guys have made all-stars teams for the Padres, but we're not talking about the development in the major. We're talking about the drafting part. 2016 draft, 8 MLB players, 1 all-star. Cal Quantrill, Eric Lauer, Mason Thompson, Joey Lucchesi, Lake Bacher. All made the big leagues in the first 5 rounds. Other players make the big leagues. Jesse Schultens, Taylor Colway, Gray Kissinger, and David Bednar was your all-star. Also, A.J. Brown was drafted by the Padres in 2016. had a pretty good NFL career. Athlete. 2017, Padres draft. Mackenzie Gore, first round pick. Pick number 3 overall. Made the big leagues and an all-star. Luis Camposano, second round pick. Made the big leagues. That's out of the first 5 rounds. Other players to make the big leagues out of that draft for the Padres: Nick Margavicius, Tom Cosgrove, Joey Cantillo, Chandler Siegel, Matthew Batten, Caleb Bushley. Some of these names might not be household names, but they're still guys that are making the big leagues. 2018 draft, 8 MLB players: Ryan Weathers, Xavier Edwards, Owen Miller, Dylan Coleman in the first 5 rounds. Steven Wilson, Eric Zabrowski, Dylan Smith, Reese Kinnear all made the big leagues for A.J. Preller's class of 2018. 2019, got an all-star in C.J. Abrams. Logan Driscoll made the big leagues. Matt Brash made the big league. Is the only league that it's only had 1 first-round pick, but they only had like 5 or 6 picks in that draft. Robert Hassel III's made the big leagues. 2021 draft, Jackson Merrill, James Wood were your first and second round picks. Both of them made the All-Star game. Robert Gasser, Jackson Wolf, Ryan Bergert, River Ryan, Alec Jacob, Chase Burns have all made the big leagues. Chase Burns didn't sign with the Padres when he was drafted out of high school. He went to Tennessee. And then in 2022, Adam Mazier and Graham Pauley have made the big leagues. So overall for the San Diego Padres, it's been pretty good. 53 big leaguers over a 10-year span. So people always say, well, how's the rest of Major League Baseball compare? Well, in the National League West, since A.J. Preller has taken over as the general manager of the San Diego Padres, the Padres have had 53 draft picks become Major League Baseball players, which is the ultimate goal. There's only one team in baseball, or at least in the National League, and in the National League West, that has produced more big leaguers in their last 10 years of draft picks, and that's the Los Angeles Dodgers. They've produced 3 more at 56. Rockies have produced 47, the Diamondbacks 42, the Giants have produced 37 big leaguers since 2015. NL Central, Pirates have the most with 49, Cardinals the least with 37. In the NL East, Braves have the most with 46, Phillies with 31. Again, Padres second most in the National League. So I bring up all these in the last 10 years. No, I said Matt Brash, not Matt Bush. Matt Bush was drafted a long time ago. To really just reiterate what the draft this year might look like for the Padres. I think what this tells you is it tells you that A.J. Preller is good at finding talent. He's really good at finding talent. I mean, you start looking at some of the players that they've been able to get to the big leagues. And now, I will say, playing devil's advocate, I've already mentioned I'm a fair guy, trying to keep things fair. Padres like to rush guys to the big leagues a lot faster than other organizations, which could lead to having a little bit more. But they've done a great job of producing major league talent out of their drafts. So you start to think a little bit about what this last draft was, in which you got guys like Cruz Schoolcraft, who I think is going to be pretty good. And you look at some of the players that they drafted in this year's draft. Cruz Schoolcraft with the number 1 overall pick, the first round pick, 25th pick overall this year. And then waiting for, the third round before they were able to get their next pick, and Ryan Weidman. I mean, all these guys are just names to you until they start performing anyway. But A.J. Preller's had a pretty good track record when it comes to drafting. Now, that being said, he does a really good job of refilling the farm system. I think he does a good job of having prospect capital, and so you start looking at some of these names that were on the list. A lot of them, obviously not part of the Padres organization anymore, but a lot of these guys have been used to bring high level talent back to San Diego. And some of these players that have been traded for high-level talent to get to San Diego haven't even made the big leagues yet. Now, some of the All-Stars obviously not making the All-Star team with the Padres stinks, but it's not like they've lost a ton of those players. I'm curious to see how this next group does, and then we'll see how much longer some of the guys from 2024 remain in the Padres organization. Need a contestant for this midday sports standoff? 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Call in and qualify for a chance to win our grand prize, a 2-night stay at Park MGM Las Vegas, 2 tickets to Motley Crue on September 19th, and a $100 gas card. Catch Motley Crue's Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM September 12th through October 3rd. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. If you could take me down in sports trivia, looks like we have a contestant. Let's get to today's game.
Welcome to Midday Sports Standoff on the Braden Surprenant Show.
I can't believe what I'm seeing right now.
The ultimate head-to-head battle where sports knowledge and quick thinking collide.
No, it's no good. Are you kidding me?
Contestants will go toe-to-toe with Braden in a sports trivia deal where every correct answer brings them closer to victory.
Down the sideline! Wow! Unbelievable!
But 3 strikes and it's game over.
This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
Can you outsmart Braden? The Midday Sports Standoff starts now.
All right, Frank, who we got playing today?
Today, we have Robert in Vista. Robert, how you doing today, bud?
Pretty good. How you guys?
Good, good. All right, so today's topic and tomorrow's topic are going to have a little bit more answers. We got 15 possible answers for this one. And the topic today is Padres to start an All-Star game. All right, so Padres to start an All-Star game. There have been 15 different Padres to start an All-Star game. Robert, you have the first crack.
Tony Gwynn.
Going right with it. Tony Gwynn, yes.
Does he get all the points for that?
It's 1 point per.
Oh, only to 1 point per?
Yeah.
All right. Fernando, 2021.
Fernando.
Santiago.
One more time.
Benito Santiago.
Benito Santiago.
Correct.
Talk with, I'll say, this year's starter, Manny Machado.
Yes.
Fred McGriff.
Fred McGriff is there, yes.
Jake Peavy started in 2007.
Jake Peavy, yes.
Gary Sheffield.
No, Gary Sheffield did not start in the All-Star game.
He makes more sense than last year's starter. Jerkson Profar started last year.
Yes, sir.
What a year.
Robert.
Brian Giles.
Brian Giles did not start an All-Star game. That's 2 strikes for Robert.
This one's a tricky one because he wasn't voted as a starter. But even though San Diego hosted the All-Star game, the American League was the home team. Will Myers got to start as the designated hitter for the hometown club.
That is correct. No bonus points for the history lesson.
All right. I thought you said you liked history off air like 5 minutes ago.
I do like history. It's not going to get you any bonus points here, though. Robert.
Well, I tried.
Steve Garvey.
Steve Garvey did start an All-Star game for the Padres, yes.
I'm going to go, I'm sure he started an All-Star game because they wanted the games to go quick. The left-hander, Randy Jones.
Randy Jones did start an All-Star game, yes.
Trevor?
No, unfortunately not, and that is 3 strikes. All right, so we have So you got 6. You got Fernando, Manny, Peavy, Profar, Myers, and Randy Johnson. Tony
Randy
Gwynn.
Jones.
Randy Jones, sorry.
I wish the Padres had Randy Johnson for a time.
Robert got Tony Gwynn, Benito Santiago, Fred McGriff, and Steve Garvey.
Who are we missing?
You're missing a number of guys here. Hold on one second. Let me get the exact number.
If they're like before 2000, I'm not gonna get them.
They most of them are, I guess.
All right.
I mean, a couple of them are rather obvious, I would think.
Like Ken Caminetti won a MVP, or
Ken Caminetti did start an All-Star game. Yes,
start an All-Star game.
So now you got 4 left.
4 left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna know.
You're not gonna know who Dave Winfield is?
Well, it's not game. It's like picking guys that actually started the game. Like,
yes, Dave
different
Winfield.
than making the All-Star team.
Dave Winfield started an All-Star game. So did Greg Nettles, Terry Kennedy, and Lamar Hoyt all started All-Star games for the Padres.
By the way, I know they're re-airing the home run derby that you were supposed to watch. It was your turn.
Well,
So they're re-airing.
We'll remember that for next year. That's your turn next year.
Do I need to explain expand versus shrink to the older audience?
I think yes. I think you do.
We should ask Chris Ella what expand and shrink mean. Expand's like, yes, do this. More of this. We want more of this. Shrink is like, absolutely not. Get rid of this. We don't want any of this. Holy shrink on the Brent Rooker upside down lid that his wife's wearing.
Well, rally cap.
It's not no. It's Rooker spelled upside down, like my upside down frog's hat.
Oh.
No Rivals Brent Rooker upside down hat, shrink. That's where the trend has gone too far.
Yeah.
Shrink.
I think it went too far at the design stage, honestly, but
I think it was cool for like the kid, the Texas hat, and then the colleges. Okay, having a upside down Brent Rooker hat, shrink. The player hats. Would you wear Tatis upside down on your head?
No. Why?
Would you wear Soto upside down on your head?
No.
What about Mr. Met?
He was upside down over the weekend. Apparently.
He was.
But he took a fall last week.
He's the gift that keeps on giving in the mascot realm.
Yeah, he is. It's not the Fanatic. It's not Blooper. It's not even the San Diego Chicken.
He just looks
Mr. Met.
He looks like a dope every time he does it.
Listen here, all right. You didn't need to go that far.
That's what he looks like.
I bet you he does.
I feel like you like Blooper more than you like Mr. Met.
I do like Blooper more than I like Mr. Met, honestly.
How many mascots do you like more than Mr. Met as a Mets fan?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I would really have to think about that.
He's at the Lumineers concert. They bring him out on stage, which is already hilarious.
Yeah.
They throw him the tambourine, and he drops it.
Yep.
And I thought, it can't
get worse than this.
That's kind of funny. That's kind of interesting that this is going viral. Then he starts walking and doing his tambourine thing.
Yep.
And then he steps and disappears.
Mm-hmm.
He steps off stage and he falls off stage. It was so bad that Mrs. Met had to tweet about it. That's where still love my Mr. Met. As she's hanging out with Mr. Redlegs.
And of course, it was Adam had to send me the video.
Oh, even better.
Hours after I saw it, asking if Blooper had anything to say about it. And he did the next morning, unfortunately. But Blooper didn't take a shot at Mr. Met. He took a shot at the Lumineers. Said the fact me being at a Lumineers concert would be the most shocking thing. I think he said so.
Wow.
So
I like the Lumineers.
He left Mr. Met out of it, but he torched the Lumineers.
The other good thing about the All-Star break is you get to see the antics from all the mascots in one place.
Yes.
Which is always great. What's our friend Dinger up to?
I don't know.
I haven't seen any of the coverage.
What's our friend Blue up to?
The Friar there?
I have no idea.
They should have brought Blue out with.
I love Blue.
Was it the Indianapolis Colts guy?
Yes.
Should have brought him out with Pat McAfee.
They should have.
When he was talking about Big Dumper before the home run derby, Blue should have ran out.
I can't believe I've had to type that now twice.
Big Dumper?
Yes.
Do you see they make baby jerseys for Big Dumper with Big Dumper on the back? That's creative. Now that's we're winning up there in Seattle. Somebody gets it. Somebody gets it.
What was ESPN's headline yesterday on ESPN on the website? Wasn't it Big Dumper is the big thumper?
Yeah.
Wins the home run derby?
Something like that. Wasn't my week to watch them though. Hour to go. What am I going to eat next at Craft Taco? We will have a guest talk about AA San Antonio with the Missions. Brian Yenelson will join us as a call-in, get an update on AA San Antonio before we talk more about trending news in Major League Baseball. Last hour. Final hour of the Braden Surprenant show. I'm fighting Frank on what tacos to eat here. It's been a battle. Each picking our own. It's
It
almost,
has.
you know, it's like a draft. It's like a taco draft. And the best part is like the tacos are just easily to eat. Even for Frank, who can't eat as much as he used to, keeps picking them apart. We haven't got to the burrito yet. I didn't want to fill up for the burrito, but that might be my dinner tonight.
I'll tell you what, tortilla chips, fresh tortilla chips with salt on them, very underrated. I don't know why people think that salt doesn't belong on those things. They're so much better with salt.
Rod goes, who's eating the fish taco? I am. I'm eating the fish taco.
Yeah, he could have
that is one of the better fish tacos I've had.
He can have the fish taco. That's fine. I wouldn't be able to eat it right now anyway.
833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Let's talk as we continue our coverage of the minor leagues this week during the All-Star break. We're going to welcome in San Antonio Missions broadcaster Brian Yenselson, who joins us now on the Braden Surprenant show. So take a look at how the first half went for the San Antonio Missions and some of the top prospects for the San Diego Padres that either could be traded or could become future Padres and how they're doing so far this season. Brian, what's going on, man?
Not much. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to join you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you jumping on with us. Just overall recap for us. I mean, you watch them every single day. How have the Missions been doing so far in the first half of the season as they just completed it?
You know what? It's been a super fun year. Honestly, we're currently on a 5-game win streak. Just got back from a long road trip in Wichita, Kansas, and it went really well. Lost the first game of the series and now have won 5 in a row. So kind of on a groove right now, tied for first place in the second half. And that first half ended a little suddenly and not the way we wanted it to. All the Missions had to do was win one more game and they would have won the first half. But unfortunately fell just short in that last game of the first half against Frisco. So Midland, even though it was a tie between San Antonio and Midland, the Rockhounds ended up taking it with the tiebreaker. But if you look at the overall record, already starting to combine the second half, the Missions have the best record in the Texas League South. It's been very consistent. The pitching has been phenomenal. I think that's definitely the most exciting piece of the Missions and the relievers, especially. I mean, you look at our team, we've been kind of picked apart from the Padres and AAA El Paso. We've had 9 pitchers called up, including 3 of them that have debuted with the Padres, and 2 of them are still there, David Morgan and Edward Niel Nunez. So the pitching has been where our strongest suit has been. The offense is starting to come around as of late, but overall, it's been a super fun year in San Antonio.
Sorry with the San Antonio Missions broadcaster Brian Yenselson on the Braden Surprenant shows. We take you a little preview of what's been going on down in the minor leagues, down on the farm. Obviously, the biggest player in the Padres organization that started the year with San Antonio did not get too many games in before he ended up getting hurt. That'd be Ethan Salas. He only played 10 games before being put on the injured list. Seemed like it was going to be a long time on the injured list, if not for almost the entire season. What's the latest update that you have on Ethan Salas down there in San Antonio?
Yeah, that was definitely someone we were super excited to have back. I mean, he came up with us in 23 when he was still even younger than he is now, and everyone was thrilled to have him start the season. Unfortunately, he's had that injury keep him off. I think the latest we know is the same thing that AJ Preller has said in the past couple of months, is that he's out with some back issues, and I think late July was kind of an early barometer as to where maybe he could come back. But that's all we've heard. We're all very excited to have him back eventually. But, you know, everything kind of happens for a reason. And if you look at our roster, the only guy that I was totally shocked to see on our opening day roster was Brandon Valenzuela. And with Ethan there, it was a question of who's going to catch and how often. And Brandon actually made it to AAA at the end of 2024, so we didn't really expect him to start with us. But boy, have we been super lucky to have Valenzuela. You know, he leads our team in home runs. He leads our team in runs batted in, and he has become such a dependable catcher behind the plate. And you really wonder how much he would have played and how much he would have caught if Ethan had been healthy this entire year. So we're definitely excited to have Salas back when he's back, and that might mean that Brandon goes up to AAA or maybe the big league club with a need for catching up there. But he's been as clutch as he can be. He's had 7 game-winning hits, including 4 walk-offs. And so I don't know where we would be without Brandon Valenzuela. He's definitely stepped in with Ethan Hurt and led our pitching staff, been a captain, and just done everything that you can imagine.
Well, you beat me to my next question. I was going to ask about how Brandon Valenzuela has filled in with getting more opportunity. Obviously, the catching situation has been a problem for the Padres, at least offensively. What are some reasons that you have seen out of Brandon Valenzuela that the scouts have talked about of why he could potentially help the Padres in the near future at the catching position?
He's worked so hard at the catching position. Our manager, Luke Mons, has been with the Missions for 3 years now, and Luke himself was a big league catcher, spent some time with the Athletics and with the Washington Nationals, longtime minor league player, but did get some major league experience. And they are out there every single day working on receiving and framing. And Luke is pretty hard on him, I would say, getting to be around the guys, traveling with them. I get to see some of these conversations that they're having. And Luke is tough on Brandon, and I think it's because he really sees that in him. But this year, he's throwing out over 30% of base stealers. He is calling games for our pitching staff that has been so talented. He's bilingual, so he's from Mexico, but he speaks English. I think as a catcher, that becomes super valuable. And he's a switch hitter. He gets it done from both sides. At the beginning of the year, you couldn't get him out hitting right-handed, and now he's hitting all his homers left-handed. So he's one of those switch hitters who's not just there for vanity, but he's truly producing from both sides of the plate. So when you start to analyze his game, there's really no holes in it. I mean, defensively, how he carries the staff and what he does on offense, he's right in the heart of our lineup. I would definitely see him getting the call up, whether it's El Paso or San Diego, very, very soon. We've all been talking about it, of what that might do to affect our team in terms of results, but obviously we want the best for him, and he's someone that I see going up very, very soon.
We're talking with Missions broadcaster Brian Yenselson, the San Antonio Missions AA affiliate of the San Diego Padres, giving us an update on how the first half of the season went down in AA San Antonio as we approach the trade deadline here coming up in the next couple of weeks or so. Let's talk about the pitching staff. I want to talk about one pitcher in particular before we get to the, probably the studs that you would be mentioning about this pitching staff. Luis Patino, player for the Padres, came up, was part of the Futures game a handful of years ago, was sent to Tampa Bay in a couple of trades that was, with the Padres, ends up getting hurt a couple of times. He gets released. Padres pick him back up, and he's finally back from injury and then gets hurt again. What have you seen of Luis Patino in his, kind of 5 games that he's been able to participate in?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked about him, because he can definitely go under the radar, but he became a huge part of that final push, especially. And we have such good arms at the top of the rotation that he can be forgotten. But he looked really solid when he was back, had an interesting moment getting to pitch in Amarillo, which is where he pitched in AA when they were the Padres affiliate for that 1 year when the Missions went to AAA. But he had that whole welcome back, and he was pitching as good as he has in a while. He would tell people, the media was excited to see him in Amarillo, had some media out in San Antonio to talk to him, and he would talk about how he's dealt with that injury. He got a new tattoo on his wrist, and it says, "Be patient." And that's what his mantra has been, just be patient, work hard. He's still such a young guy for someone who spent all that time in the big leagues and has been traded as many times. He's still only 25 years old, and he was doing well, was a big part of the rotation, would piggyback as he would start, and then we'd have someone piggyback after him. But yeah, unfortunately, just that last start in that game I mentioned against Frisco, when we just had to win and we would have claimed that title, he had his only rough outing with the Missions and ended up leaving pretty early, and we haven't seen him since. I do think the updates have been pretty good. I think we're hoping to see him sooner rather than later. I don't think it was necessarily as serious as definitely not as serious as his previous injury, which led to Tommy John, but don't know exactly when that would be. But I definitely hope to see him back in San Antonio, and I think the Padres are definitely excited about having him back in the system, because when he was on, he was back to himself.
We're talking with Brian Yenselson of the San Antonio Missions. He's the broadcaster for the AA affiliate of the San Diego Padres, talking about the first half of the Mission season. Brian, let's talk about the rest of the pitching staff. The reports that we get from a lot of different people throughout minor league baseball and Major League Baseball is that the Padres have a lot of bullpen level help, and that's not just at the Major League level with 3 all-stars in this year's All-Star game, but also at the minor league level. A lot of live arms in this farm system, and you guys got a decent amount of them. Who are some of these arms that Padres fans should either be on the lookout for at the trade deadline or on the lookout to be future Padres?
Well, I think you've already seen a couple of them, which has been so exciting to see for us. David Morgan getting the call up straight from AA. We were in Amarillo, literally sheltering from a tornado. And then the next day he gets the call up, and there he still is, living as a major leaguer, doing well. So he's definitely someone that I think should stick around. Eduardo Nunez, I mean, he was carving batters up. He had spent time at AAA with the Cubs organization. And after a little bit of a struggle at the beginning of the year just with command, there was a point where nobody was even touching him, and it was no surprise. He ended up doing the little step to AAA, but then you see why he clearly went to the majors. So him and David Morgan, there's a reason why they've stuck. We're so proud of having them up there. Bradley Rodriguez, he had that little appearance where now he's back in AAA, and I know he's dealt with some injuries, but he's legit. He's given full effort on every single pitch that he's making. So I think those three obviously made it, and Padres fans can be excited about it. But you still look at our bullpen, and it seems like everyone that we put in is someone who can make that next step. Right now, as of late, Jake Higginbotham, he's been touching 96 miles an hour. I know he's been working very hard with our pitching staff down in AA, and they're very excited about the results that he's putting up. He's a left-handed reliever who started with the Atlanta Braves organization and then went to the Detroit Tigers, but he's with the Padres, signed as a minor league free agent. And I think if there's a need for a left-handed reliever, I would not be surprised if Jake Higginbotham is someone who's called up. Ryan Ock, I think, is another lefty that our staff and the Padres are pretty excited about, trying to get that velocity up and seeing what he can produce. And so those are some of the names still in our bullpen. We're having JB Wendelken, former major leaguer. He's been pretty good as of late, had a couple scoreless innings up in Wichita, but it's really been next man up in the Missions bullpen. And when you think 9 pitchers called up, that's going to deplete a staff, it hasn't at all, because it just keeps happening. And I think it's a testament to what the Padres are doing. First time in Major League history that a team has 3 relievers in the All-Star game, and there's plenty more where that came from. So we've been lucky, because when we have a lead late, that's kind of become the golden stat for the Missions. When we score first, we're 26-7. And when we have a lead, we've only lost 1 game when having a lead after 8 innings. So that's because of those relievers we've had. And I think there's plenty more exciting guys to come up. Another guy I'll throw in there, Jose Geraldo, known as Kraken. He touched 97 and 98 this past week in Wichita. He's been super exciting. He's been with the Padres for 8 years now. And I could see him, if he can get his command consistently, as another guy that gets the call up pretty soon.
Talking with Brian Yenselson of the San Antonio Missions, the broadcast for AA affiliate for the San Diego Padres. Kind of recap of the first half of this mission season. We talked about the bullpen. The last thing for you, pretty decent starting staff. Henry Baez has had a good year statistically in 18 starts. Braden Nett is a name that we've been talking about or heard a lot up here at the big league level. Jagger Haynes, another guy that's made a lot of starts, and Victor Lizarraga, part of that starting staff, who might not have statistically look as good as maybe some of the others, but they got good arms, live arms at the front end of ball games in San Antonio too.
We do. And if you look at the ages of those guys, it says everything you need to know. The oldest starter is 24 years old, and he's spending his first year at the AA level. But Henry is still 22. Victor is 21. Braden just turned 23, and Jagger is 22 as well. So for them to already be at the AA level, spending a complete season, I think says a lot about their growth and the experience that they're already getting. But especially those first 2 guys, Henry Baez and Braden Nett, it's become kind of a 2-headed monster. And whenever they're on the mound, you know that the Missions have a chance to win, and for different reasons. I think when you look at Braden Nett, his story that's come out recently, I was fortunate enough to talk to him on my podcast and bring that story to light a little bit, which is an honor of mine because it's a tremendous story. He was working at the Home Depot, dropped out of college, community college in Missouri, and the Padres saw him at the draft league because his junior college coach believed in him, sent him to that draft league. And so even though he never threw a collegiate inning, he got a call while he was working a shift at the Home Depot in Troy, Missouri, and signed as an undrafted free agent. And now he has among the best stuff, not only on our staff, but I would argue throughout the Padres system. He's high 90s, has a ton of pitches to work with, a sweeper, a changeup, just electric stuff. Now, the thing about him is he hasn't thrown a lot of innings. He didn't have that college experience. This year already, he's just at around 70 innings, and he's already passed his career high. So they're definitely keeping an eye on that and being careful with how much they push him. But in terms of raw ability and stuff, just within the story that he's been through, I don't even think he knows how good he is. It's one of those things where it's happened. He's kind of bumped into it. He was just working at the Home Depot, and now here he is. And so I don't even think he realizes how good he is. And then you look at Henry Baez on the opposite end of the spectrum, someone that from the moment he signed, he knew what his goal was. He knew how good he is. And he's just steady, consistent, doesn't miss a beat. He walks a batter, maybe gives up a run here or there, and you wouldn't tell that anything's different. He's going to give you 6 or 7 shutout innings every time he's out there. He was the Texas League Pitcher of the Month for June. He leads the Texas League in ERA. He's at the top of the league in innings as well, so it's not a fluke. He's not only throwing a lot of innings, but he's doing well in them. And while Braden might have more of the raw, just off the chart stuff, Henry has the consistency that I think you're looking for in a major league pitcher. So those two guys are definitely two that either will make it to the Padres or could be in trade talks as the Padres look to get some talent. So we'll definitely see, but we've been lucky to have them at the top of our rotation.
Last thing for you, Brian, it kind of goes to the trade deadline. Padres and the Missions have had a long time relationship in being part of the organization, except for like the 1 year that they're in AAA, as you had mentioned. Whether it's your own experience or the experience of the front office down there in San Antonio, have you heard stories? What's your experience like with what the trade deadline is like when AJ Preller is close to the trade deadline in the San Diego Padres? What's it like for the Missions?
Well, I do have a couple personal stories that I've already been a part of in just my short time with the Missions. This is my 4th year in some capacity with the team, but 2nd year with the team as a broadcaster and traveling. And in just those 2 seasons alone, last year I was actually on the air in Little Rock, Arkansas, when Jacob Marcy and Nathan Martorella and Usep Go got pulled from the game. Nathan Martorella coming out of second base, Luke Montz pulling him, and we're all like, what's going on? An Arkansas Travelers staff member had to come in my booth, poke me on the shoulder, and show me the tweet from Jeff Passan saying, these are the guys going for Luis Arraez. And here I am trying to make sense of what's going on, and I'm pointing, I'm saying, wait, that's Nathan Martorella on my phone. That's Nathan Martorella on the field, and he's getting pulled out, and that must be why, and just trying to put 2 and 2 together. And that wasn't even the trade deadline. That was, I want to say it was early May. It was one of our first road trips, honestly, just getting the knack of things, and there they go. So that was a crazy experience that just shows, you really can never know what could happen. I also happened to be pretty close to Robbie Snelling when he was traded to the Marlins as well. Close in proximity, literal physical proximity. He was getting some phone calls, and it was deadline day, and we're kind of like, I wonder what that's all about. And it did end up being traded, and ended up saying goodbye to myself and obviously his entire teammates and coaches. So just in that year alone, last year, we saw that it can happen at any moment. And we're definitely expecting potential movement. But I think that's what happens when you have such talent at the AA level. We've had a phenomenal year. We have some really exciting prospects, and it comes with the territory. We know that we might see some major leaguers that take the uniform in other teams' uniforms, but that's something that Luke Montz, our manager, always talks about. He tells the guys when he's pumping them up, he says, look, my job is to get you ready to either play for the Padres or for 29 other teams. I don't care who that ends up being. I want you to be a major leaguer. He understands it. We understand it, and we're super lucky to get to see, like on a night tonight, we have 7 All-Stars that are former San Antonio Missions. Not all of them are with the Padres. We have Freddie Peralta, who's a Brewers pitcher, Trevor McGill, who's now with the Brewers, Mackenzie Gore spent some time with the Mission, and then, of course, you look at Tatis and a Jason Adam actually pitched 1 game for the Missions, but Tatis, obviously a much longer term San Antonio Mission. But we're honored to have them come through us and come play at the Wolf in San Antonio, and we wish them all the best. So if it's with the Padres or if it's with someone else, we know that before anything, they were San Antonio Missions.
Brian, we appreciate the time. Thanks again for joining us, and good luck in the second half of the season for the Missions.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I heard y'all talking about breakfast burritos, but I think we need to get y'all some breakfast tacos from San Antonio sometime soon. So come on down to the Wolf for some.
I might have to do that, Brian. I'm going to be in Texas very shortly to watch my TCU Horned Frogs play football. I'll make the trip down to San Antonio.
Love to have you down.
Thanks again to Brian Jenselson for joining us today, the Missions broadcaster for AA San Antonio. Went a little bit long there, but wanted to get you guys as much information on the trade deadline as possible. Missions having a really good season, and they're always one of the best teams for the Padres farm system. We got to take a break. Couple of trending topics in Major League Baseball we got to dive into before we end today's show. We'll get to those when we come back on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. We should have the song play before the last segment. I knew he was going to do the breakfast taco thing. Like, come on. Burritos. It needs to be the Texas State-San Diego State new rivalry in the Pac-12. A breakfast taco / breakfast burrito.
Get the trophy ready.
I agree. That'd be a hell of a trophy.
Love to have it in my NCAA 26 collection.
I got to download that game.
You still haven't bought it?
No.
Bro.
I've been busy, all right? Doing stuff.
You got to be less busy.
Also, the room that my PS5 happens to be in currently does not have a couch.
That sounds like an easy problem to fix.
Well, it needs like a chair or something.
No, move the PlayStation, you goober.
I'm not moving the play. The PlayStation's in a good spot. I don't need to move it. But it is less enticing. Why I didn't do that. I am. So today I gotta go get my mom's car because I'm picking up my parents from the airport. They went to Vegas for like 2 days. It was like a concert. I don't know what they went. They went to some concert or something. I don't know why you would go to Vegas in July. They said the same thing when they were leaving on Sunday.
Why did we go to Vegas in July?
Why are we going to Vegas in July? Their friends wanted to go to Vegas in July. It was like a couples kind of deal. I mean, why would you want to go to Vegas in July? And they went during the time. What are you betting on, by the way? Like, there's no sports betting. They're like European soccer, maybe.
No, they're all off.
Everybody's off. This is the fun little trivia question for you when you're like, what is the one time of the year where nothing's going on sports-wise? Oh, the All-Star break. Yeah, congratulations. Got it right.
Jake Waters in the chat. Mountain West Media Day is tomorrow in Vegas.
Is Jake going? Or is he too big time for the Mountain West now?
Oh,
Go to the Big Ten Media Days instead. They gotta find
no,
out.
No, if he's too big time for the Mountain West, he's definitely going to the Pac-12 Media Days.
He might. I know he's going to the Big Ten ones. But, Vegas in July does not sound fun at all. You have to pay to go to most of the pools now anyway.
Arizona in July sounds worse.
Is it really much worse? Can't possibly be much worse.
Yeah, I mean, 105 and 110 kind of feel the same after that.
It's a dry heat. He's like a little big time. We got a guy going. Jake Waters got a guy going. Not going to the Pac-2 Media Days. Are they doing that this year? Last year they did. It was hilarious. The Pac-2 Media Days. If they did a Pac-2 Media Day, they should just brought all their sports in on the same day. Make it look like it was a way bigger deal than it needed to be. So anyway, I had to get my mom's car. I had to drive that today. So I'm right after the show. I got to go pick him up at the airport. Get some leftover Kraft taco for him.
There you go.
And then after, when I drop them off, I think I'm going to get, if I buy the Phil Steele College Football 25 edition.
26.
No, the Phil Steele's 25.
Oh.
If I buy the magazine before the game.
Oh.
That might be in play. I might be buying the magazine before the game. I might go physically to Barnes & Noble. The one closest to me is in Carmel Mountain. They have it, apparently. And I'm going to buy it. And then when I get back, I'll buy the game.
There you go. And you can read the magazine while you're waiting for the download.
Yeah, waiting for the download to take 5 days.
As I say, it should only be a couple. What's today? Third Tuesday? You'll probably be playing it by next Thursday.
Yeah, probably. Not as many people downloading it right now. They've already downloaded it. They're already playing. So maybe that's the case.
That's not how that works.
I think that's how it works.
No, that's not how it works.
It's not taking up as much bandwidth anymore.
It's your own personal bandwidth, not the game's
Well, I got
bandwidth.
good internet, Frank. All right. Maybe some of us have better internet than others. We are talking about the guy that can't pull up our rundown sheet at home. Maybe that, you know what? Maybe we analyze the problem.
Man. Shut up. All right.
Have you noticed? Slander. Have you noticed the missions have gotten a they have a mascot now?
Oh, have they? It's
a chili pepper wearing Davy Crockett outfit, swinging a bat.
Still love the.
It's honestly awesome.
The flying Chunkless.
That's great.
Alter ego is fantastic, by the way.
I love how all the minor league teams have different teams.
Yeah, have an alter ego.
Yes. Like, wasn't the Fresno Grizzly like the Tacos for a long time?
I think so. Like, I know the Binghamton Rumble Ponies are the Bathtub Donkeys, which is just amazing.
Okay, this is the first time I've seen the logo for the mascot, but I know I've seen this mascot before. Do you want to know what the mascot's name is for the mission's mascot?
Alamo.
His name is Jalapeno. A baseball playing jalapeno. So they have Jalapeno, and they also have Henry the Puffy Taco, a literal puffy taco.
Do they have a flip flop for the alter ego?
I don't think so. I haven't seen a flip flop. Henry the Puffy Taco.
Bless you.
Yeah, as a Southern California native, it's not inclined with Tex-Mex. Who in the chat wants to tell me what a puffy taco is? Do you know what a puffy taco is?
No, I'm white, dude.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm white from the East Coast. I have no idea what a fluffy taco is.
What is a puffy taco? Somebody tell me what a puffy taco is. You have the Google machine in front of you.
I don't want a Google machine puffy taco on a work computer because I don't know if there's going to be an alternate search that pops up.
I have a place called Henry's Puffy Tacos in San Antonio. Jalapeno is a hell of a name for a mascot, by the way. Maybe Puffy Tacos is a San Antonio thing.
Nate Taylor in the chat. What is going on? All-Star Break Radio is what's going on right now.
I got sidetracked by Jalapeno. But the Puffy Taco thing has got me intrigued. It's about food. Nate, isn't that like Allie, dude? Guy goes rants and raves about beaver nuggets from Buc-ee's, and Puffy Tacos where we draw the line.
There it is. There it is in the chat. I just saw it. That's what we were trying to avoid.
No. There it is. It looks like a chalupa.
It's kind of what I figured.
Why don't they just call
honestly,
it a chalupa?
Because it's...
Cole, I have no mature answer. You guys are disgusting. Ray's Drive-In has them. Yeah, it looks like it looks like a really bad tostada is what it looks like. The mascot for it is rough. Okay, you know what it looks like? It looks like a bao bun taco is what it looks like.
I'll just give it one of these for this entire segment, just as an overarching entire segment.
Phrasing.
They have a uniform for it. You want to see the uniform?
I would love to see the uniform for it.
Let's see if I can pull it up on the screen here. You got to check this out.
That would be.
Oh my god,
my day would not be complete.
Oh my god! All right, here we go. Let's see if I can remember how to do this.
Puffy taco uniform.
The puffy taco uniform for the
phrasing
for the missions. This is the logo. Oh, dude, they got a hat. This is great.
Oh.
Go ahead and flip the thing back. Look at this. Isn't that the most amazing thing you've ever seen in your life?
That is the most minor league baseball I think I've ever seen in my life. Yes.
That is awesome. There's a closer look at the hat. That's the emblem on the hat. There's your San Antonio Puffy Taco.
Take the hat off the screen, please.
Isn't that great? That's awesome. All right. What's better, that guy or the Jalapeno?
I don't know at this point. I really don't know at this point.
Look like it. Rod says it looks like a turd.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Nate on this one.
He draws the foul.
Leaving that logo on the screen as long as you did was a foul.
You know what? What you guys with your gutter heads think of things is not your interpretation of a taco holding a chili pepper as a bat. It's not my problem. I think you got to buy that hat. New homework assignment for you. Buy that hat. I'd wear that hat to softball. Guaranteed.
You know what? I think you would you would be the talk of OTL if you showed up with that hat.
That is still cleaner than anything that's said at OTL.
Yes, fair.
You know what? Maybe that needs to be our team name next year. Frank's Puffy Tacos, presented by the Braden Surprenant Show.
Okay.
And then you can wear the hats.
Phrasing.
Then you can wear the hats.
No.
What's wrong with this? Like Rod's gonna wear it.
No, he's asking what size am I? What size am I?
You guys can match. Wear it to the next remote. It's repping the pods, dude. Repping the missions. Guys, get your head out of the gutters, man. Literally a food item in San Antonio. Some people are getting it. Some people don't. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Rod's going to get a new hat. We're going to talk to Martin and Santee when we come back. And what's trending in baseball right now? What's going on with the All-Star game in 2028? Is this a ploy in the collective bargaining? We'll talk about it later. I'm gonna have to put this on. I'm gonna have to last thing on the mascots of the San Antonio Missions. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, we're doing this.
And we got the Tin Caps coming on tomorrow.
We got Johnny Appleseed as their mascot.
We got Lake Elsinore coming on Thursday.
Love it.
We got stuff going on this week.
You want to see the two mascots fighting?
I would love to see the two mascots fighting. My day would not be complete if I do not see the two mascots fighting.
So here's San Antonio Missions Jalapeno, which is a jalapeno wearing a backwards hat and a baseball jersey. Body slamming. It's just an image. Henry the Puffy Taco. That is hilarious.
That is amazing.
Nate Taylor wanted to see it. I could see why he wanted to see it, not Google search it himself. But there's Jalapeno body slamming Henry the Puffy Taco. Praising.
Welcome to the All-Star Week, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it crazy? No. It's just minor league baseball. Good update, though, from Jenselson about the minor leagues. Now, there's a trending topic in baseball I want to get to in terms of the All-Star Game and the Olympics. But first, let's get to Martin and Santee. Martin, what's going on, man?
Braden, always appreciate that you take my call. So your interview skills over the years are great and have been improved dramatically. So again, I don't get into the chat part because it's a different element than me, but I again appreciate that you take my call. I just want to say that it was crystal clear to me how great the Padres organization is, listening to your interview of the minor league broadcaster and the depths of this organization, including the broadcaster. I mean, just the knowledge and what it brings to us as local fans. I've been a fan for a very long time. I turn 66 tomorrow, so I've been around a while.
Happy birthday.
And thank you. But it's for those in the chat, and again, a different, maybe an age group from me, but it's so clear that the Padres organization from top to bottom runs an elite program, brings, fortunately, the number of minor leaguers to the pros, not all with us, of course, but what did it get us? It gets us, highest expectations. It gets us playoff aspirations every year now. We've never had that. We've never had that as consistently as we do now. And I just wanted to say I appreciate you and Frank bringing that to us. And hopefully this time next year, All-Star breaks, slow down radio stuff, bring it back. Keep us updated on the progress of the levels of the Padres and what they bring to us. And Frank, so happy. Welcome to San Diego. So
thank you.
Craft Taco and you are an absolute mix. So no more fouls, all good, and appreciate, again, what each of you bring to the show. But hats off to the Padres organization from every level, and it's great. I enjoy my afternoon lunchtime listen, and happy that there are no more fouls.
Well, thank you, Martin, for all the kind
guys.
words. We appreciate you calling in. Always has a lot of nice things to say.
It's Grandpa Martin now. For both of us. That is Grandpa Martin.
Don't call him that old. Uncle Martin's probably fine. Frank said that, not me. You can make like 15 promos for the show out of that.
Yeah, I was going to say that one's getting saved.
Antics at the trade, but we're trying to get as much information out there as possible on this show when it comes to a lot of different things. And again, we're going to have more minor league updates for you. But as Martin said, and we try to allude to this with the draft report that we have gotten on AJ Preller since he has been a Padres general manager, mixed with the depth that they have, especially in the pitching side of things. As mentioned before, I mean, their ability to acquire talent is very elite. Now, their development might be not as elite as other organizations, but their acquiring of talent and their drafting has been really good. To me, when I evaluate the draft for the Padres, and let me know if I'm out of play here, Frank. If you draft good players and they end up on other teams, is that show you're a good drafter or a bad drafter?
Oh, it shows you're a good drafter.
You're a good drafter, right? Like, I've had multiple times where I've had conversations or arguments with people about that AJ Preller can't draft and develop. You know, maybe they can't develop. I can entertain that. But the drafting, like, you can't tell me they're not good at drafting. He's had all these all-stars. He's had all these major leaguers. He's had the second most amount of major leaguers out of his drafts since he has started as the general manager of the Padres. And which people's response was, yeah, but they're not for the Padres. What does it matter? He's still drafting major league talent. So the drafting is fine. He does a good job with the draft. And what that leads to is potential really good players at the major league level, or some of these guys, hopefully, that are drafted by the Padres, ultimately benefiting the San Diego Padres. It's a good call by Martin and Santee. All right, let's get to this Olympic thing, Frank.
Yes, sir.
So, Major League Baseball is considering allowing their athletes compete in the 2028 Olympics.
Good.
Why is this significant? Well, that'd be a first in reality. There's a couple of things, though, that really point out, is it really Major League Baseball looking for the betterment of that? Like, hey, look, our athletes really want to compete for the Olympics. They really want to compete for their country. I'm going to try to do this with Frank, but he's doing a great job multitasking and getting things done. He's got a lot of stuff he's going to get done. Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
What percentage of athletes in Major League Baseball would you say want to represent their country in international play?
100%.
You think
if given the opportunity, I think everyone would jump on the chance to
even
to wear.
pitchers
Yes.
in the middle of the season?
Yes.
I'd go like maybe 90%, but he's going
different.
100.
It's different and you see it in soccer, because that's and the NHL especially now. Once you have the opportunity to wear your nation's colors on your back, that supersedes everything else.
It's the only real opportunity for people
Yes.
to represent where they're from.
Yes.
Who they are, more than the rare occurrence of, Joe Musgrove being able to represent San Diego and maybe a couple of guys throughout Major League Baseball that play for their hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of players would probably say yes to this. All right, that's question number one. Question number two. In reality, do we think Major League Baseball is allowing this or even entertaining this if the Olympics in 2028 were not in the United States?
No, but I think if enough players made us think about it, I think they probably would. They would have to at least consider it.
Do you find the timing of this odd?
In relation,
like, let's just think about the calendar here coming up. So 2028 is the Olympics. This is the first time that Major League Baseball is considering allowing their athletes compete in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
They have also said we are not canceling our All-Star game in that year either. And if, this is the report from Susan Sussler of up in San Francisco, who's done a great job forever. Her report was, if Major League Baseball allows the Olympics in 2028, the All-Star game will be in San Francisco. Olympics that year are in
LA.
Los Angeles. We probably don't get to have because we had in 16, but I digress. You don't find it odd that the CBA is up at the end of 2026?
Yeah, it's.
Do you think Major League Baseball likes the idea of their athletes competing in the Olympics in the middle of the season, or this might be a conspiracy? Do you think they're dangling a carrot right now for negotiation purposes?
Nothing that anything. We are staring down the bottom line is we are staring down the barrel of a lockout. There is no way that either side, and we'll get into more of this tomorrow since we only have a minute left. There is no shot that either side right now is negotiating in good faith.
No
period.
way.
And the Players Association doing what they did today with what they said about the salary cap and salary floor, which again we'll get to tomorrow. That is them trying to win in the court of public opinion. But when you're doing absolutely nothing in good faith, you're still going to lose.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. You have lost, period. So it would not surprise me if that's them dangling a carrot. It really wouldn't.
I think that is one of the plays for the owners. The owner's big play right now is obviously the salary cap.
Yes.
I think the players are looking more towards maybe some revenue sharing. I think they're looking more towards, the international thing. I think there's probably more days off. I mean, you got to think of like what the owners are willing to give up in order to get the salary cap. Like, what are the things that the players absolutely want? Probably getting more money for the postseason. Like they don't get paid in the postseason. They get paid based on whatever game it gets to. I forget how many. I think the first four. The players only get paid for like the first couple of games. I think the extra games go to the owners. I forget how the level is. Or maybe it's vice versa. I think it might be vice versa, where like the first four games of the playoff series go to the owners, and then they get any extra game. It's interesting.
I mean,
but
at this
there's
point,
a lot that we got to break down tomorrow about it. Frank, hold your thought for tomorrow. Big thank you to Eddie from Craft Taco for stopping by and feeding us today. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. Enjoy the All-Star game tonight. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Coming up next, Chris Ello, Matt's Gravy, Gwen and Chris, setting his number Sports Station 915 Fan.
Padres.